everybody bloody good? How's everybody doing on this fantastic Sunday, everybody? Chat, it is a mixture of things today. We're going to be starting out with a bit of a long react day, or not a long react day, but a normal react day, probably 3.5 hours of reacts. Then we're going to be hopping into a Rocket League tournament today. We are in a 2v2 content tourney. Well, 2v2v2v2v2. You know what I mean. It's a tournament. Twos. High on Life 2's out. I know. We're going to play that on Tuesday. Here's the schedule. Reacts today into the Rocket League tournament. It's me, Jinxie, Arky, Yugi, Ron, Lacey, XQC, Blackboy Max, a bunch of people. I'm not going to try and list everybody. As well, okay. The High on Life fucked me up. I was in a flow state. Chat, reacts, Rocket League today. And Ludwig and Squeaks. Yes. Oh my God, I'm done reading chat. Stop. Hold up. Today, reacts, Rocket League. Tomorrow, we're going to be live at like 2:30. Are you guys off tomorrow? I think I'm going to stream early tomorrow. Yes? Okay, word. So this is the plan. React Rocket League today. Tomorrow I'm going to be live at like 2:30. We're probably going to start stream with like, I don't know, maybe some random games or I don't know. And then we're going to fucking do the SMP. I don't know how many more SMP days we're doing, but there's still some other shit I want to get done on the SMP/do in general. So we're going to be doing the SMP tomorrow for a little bit. At least like 2 hours, 3 hours. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Tuesday, we're going to be starting High on Life 2. That's when we're starting High on Life 2. I know it's out now. I also heard there's some glitches in-game that they need to fix, so I'm kind of happy I didn't play it on day of release. Just to give them time to fix, like, some of the crash issues. So we'll play that on Tuesday. Wednesday, Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 drops. We're going to be doing that the whole stream. It's probably going to take like 5 hours. Most of the chapters take like 3 to 5 hours. So we're going to do just Poppy Playtime on Wednesday. Thursday, I'm not live. Friday's reacts, probably a little bit earlier. Like I might be live at like 3:30 Friday. Saturday is going to be more High on Life 2. Probably for the whole stream. Maybe some other random shit. I don't know. Sunday's reacts next Monday. SMP next Tuesday. I'm off next Wednesday. We're going to be doing a charity stream for AHA. It's going to be a crowd control charity stream. What that basically means is the donations that you guys send in real time affect the game that we're playing. So we're going to be doing Peak and other shit, and you guys are going to be able to like fuck up our, you know, what's it called? You're going to be able to fuck up our runs. It's going to be me, Sneeg, Killdozer, maybe Handsome. If we don't have Handsome, we'll get somebody else, but he hasn't been responding, so I don't know where he is. But if he can't do it, we'll probably get somebody else. But it'll be a four-man charity stream. Gonna be raising money, not matching donos, but I'll probably drop like $5,000. Just because I want to match donos for every charity stream that I do solo, but I can't like match donos when we're all funneling to the same thing because I don't know whose is from what. So I'm probably just going to drop a regular donation at the start of stream just so it doesn't fuck with the games that we're playing because every donation affects the game in some way. And then we'll go from there. That's the schedule for the next like week and a half. If you have any videos you want to watch, games there to play videos, /game/tab. F Cancer, we're doing March for a charity stream. And then outside of that, Resident Evil drops in like a week and a half or 2 weeks. We're going to be playing that next Friday, actually. So Resident Evil Requiem we're going to do, or Requiem, I don't know how you can say it. We're going to be doing that day of release. People have been asking me if I'm going to finish that game. Does anybody know how long Resident Evil Requiem's going to be? Probably like 20 hours. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to beat the game. I'm going to beat High on Life too. High on Life is supposed to be like 10 hours or like 15 hours. So that'll probably take like 3 streams. Resident Evil might take 3 as well if I do 3 long ones. Maybe 4, honestly. But it says estimated 16 to 20 hours, so we don't really know. Resident Evil's 40 hours. Well, nobody knows how long the new one is yet, just because it's not out. But most people estimate that they're just... Most Resident Evil games hover main story like 16 to 25 hours. It's pronounced Requiem. Yes? Requiem? Resident Evil Requiem. Okay. Now I'm saying it right. Okay, awesome. Anyways, we're doing that as well. So we got a lot of, like, tomorrow, that's why I want to do, like, half SMP, half random shit, because, like, Poppy Playtime's going to take a whole stream. High on Life's probably going to take 3 streams, and Resident Evil's probably going to take, like, 3 or 4. So, because we're doing a lot of long-form games coming up, I do want to try and wedge in random gaming where I can. But, you know, I'm fine with ripping just, like, individual long games in general. I think it'll be fun. So there's a lot of cool games coming out in February. Anyways, rundown of the videos that we have today. Not a super long lineup just because we also have the Rocket League tournament, and I do want to practice for, like, maybe 20 minutes before. But here it is. Then I'm going to read donos. We're going to lock into it. We're going to watch the Jack Pembroke video. You guys were spamming about it on Friday, or not Friday. No. What day is it? Nice. You guys were spamming about it on Thursday. Oh my God, bro. What did I do last stream? Reanimal. Oh my God. Thursday, you guys. I was getting fucked up because I think Fridays are react days. Anyways. Today, we're going to be watching the Jack Pembroke video, finally. I stealth camped outside of North Korea. 1,000 ants versus natural disasters, evil human experiments that actually happened, spotting the clues in AI Slop, and Ice saves anime meat canyon video. Might eat a snack while we watch this, just because it's going to be a long stream today. It's probably going to be like a 6-7 hour stream today, if I had to guess. So we'll go from there. Prezi for the sub, Marion, Michael for the sub, Haluga and Gray for the sub, Big, thank you for the 4, Skippity, thank you for the 3, really make my day, thank you, Mars for the sub, Bleed, thank you for the 3. Are you ever going to play Slime Rancher 2? No. Elsa and It's for the sub, Sleepy, thank you for the 5, happy birthday. Colby and Ape, thank you for the sub, Ledge, thank you for the 3, Love React Sundays, thank you, Flex and Cat, thank you for the sub, UG, thank you for the 3, kind of look like Ben from Maze Runner, Kenan, thank you for the sub, Endless, thank you for the 3, you make my day better, thank you, Bay Cat, for the 2 subs, Slasher, I Love and Quee, thank you for the sub, Soggy, thank you for the 5, Love and X for the sub, Kevin and A, Austin, Yabo, Zorofin, Ms. Hasha, Extreme Nikki Raphael X, I only in WY Probably Cat 1 Dill Sam Alex Big Flan Toff Lil Biggie and Sketty, thank you for the sub. Shake and Eerie for the sub. Hard VD Vision and Evoid for the sub. Catnip and Haluga for the sub as well. Chat, no need to spam 6-7. It's 2026. Hold up. Code BART. Gamer subs. 10% off. Or if you just had a sample pack, use code BART. You'll get free shipping. They'll send the sample pack for free to your house/apartment so you can try it out, see what flavors you like. Pure and Unbaited, thank you for the sub. Ligma, Chef S, and Gabe, thank you for the sub. Chat, let's lock in. Let's lock in. Yeah, ban that guy. Holy shit. Is that supposed to be like a dupe of one of my mods? What was that username? All right. Anyways, lock in. First video of the day. No pre-stream yap. We got a lot of videos to watch. Baby and LMAO for the sub. Plump, Unbaited, and Ligma for the sub. Chat. I stealth camped outside North Korea.
Behind me is...
This is Jack's last video. This is Jack Pembroke's last ever video. Because now he's probably in the hands... I have no idea how this was uploaded on YouTube because this was probably taken moments before North Korean soldiers captured him.
North Korea, the most militarized and dangerous country in the world. All along the border, there's numerous guard towers and constant armed military surveillance.
Also, mines. Jack, if you're camping outside the North Korean border, you could very well step on a Korean war mine that has been there for 50 years. Like, you might actually die.
Making it near impossible to go unseen. And yes, the title is real. I'm actually going to attempt to stealth camp at the North Korean border. What the heck? I think this is an actual military bunker. Kim Jong-un.
This is so scary to do. I think anything where you're trespassing in a foreign country is terrifying. Can I say that? Not even the fact that it's North Korea. Like, trespass, like, he does a lot of videos where he's, like, stealth camping in Alcatraz and all this other place. And that's, like, you know, scary because you're not supposed to be there. But you're in the U.S. So, like, worst case, you know, they fine you, you get a slap on the wrists, and, you know, you fucking go about your day. Here, even if he's in South Korea, like, you could fucking get in so much trouble for, like, trying to get close to the border. Yo, toss it in sub-only mode. Chat is terrible. Drew and Plaque for the sub, Sluggy and Super for the sub, the amount of spam I see, Jojo for the sub, Zachary, thank you for the 5. Have you played Peak yet? Yes, but we're going to play it on the charity stream. Dinkle and Coop, thank you for the sub, Colby and Rub, thank you for the sub. All right, lock in.
I'm coming for you, buddy. And our journey begins in South Korea. Hello. Hello. I'm going to the border.
Border?
You're telling the random South Korean Uber driver or taxi guy, I'm going to be running into North Korea today. Any tips? Do you think I should bring anything with me? I don't know how long the journey's going to be.
Is it scary? 안녕하세요, YouTuber. Pretty sure that means hello YouTube in Korean. Before I go to bed, there's a few things I haven't told you guys. Tomorrow morning, we are going to the North Korea border. More specifically,
I feel like he's got to be, before he actually says where he's going, there's no shot he's going to, like, the demilitarized zone. Or, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever it's called. That area, no, it's not demilitarized. Where is that what it's called? Where they just stand there? The soldiers, and they just watch each other on both sides. They never speak to each other, but they just stare at each other, and they've done that at the fucking 39th parallel or whatever it is. Yeah, the DMZ, it is the demilitarized zone. For like years. 38th parallel, not 39th. There's no way he's going there because there's so many people there. I feel like he's going to be going to some random fence that's just like posted up along the border.
the demilitarized.
I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound stupid. I think it's hard to escape North Korea. I feel like it's probably not that hard to get into it. Cooper, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Thank you for getting a sub. Thank you for the 20 gifteds. Do you agree? If I was in South Korea, which I've never been, so this is literally me just saying this off of, you know, pure Joe Bart ego speculation, I feel like it's probably as simple as just running across. Like, I don't think they would stop me. North Korea would accept... Oh, do you think they would shoot you? What if I had like a body pillow of Kim Jong-un with like hard eyes, and I was like, I love Kim Jong-un, please. And then I run in. Like, are they shooting me?
Zone. This area is what separates...
Especially if I come... Bro, like, I would enter like here. This is my strategy if I ever had to invade North Korea. I would not enter in the demilitarized zone, like that central point that everybody goes and visits tourist-wise. I'm going to some random-ass spot, and I'm just running across.
North and South
You'd get kidnapped and interrogated. And then I would say that I just love North Korean culture.
Korea, and it's the most militarized place on
Yeah, like going across here is a bad play.
Earth. This is the closest you can get to North Korea, so as you can imagine, there's
I just moon one of the soldiers. He's standing in the T-pose. I'm like, hey.
on Earth. This is the closest you can get to North Korea, so as you can imagine, they're very strict with their rules. Not just anybody can go to the DMZ. I had to book a private tour weeks in advance.
$45,000? Oh, 30 US dollars. Huh. I didn't see the parentheses.
Just to go see this place. All of these factors really stress me out considering the goals I have planned for tomorrow. 1. Spread propaganda.
Oh, that's
I want
awesome.
to absolutely tarnish this man Kim's name, and I want to do it as close to him as possible. I even had some custom...
Jack, this is the worst idea I've ever seen. This is... Bro, Otto Warmbier, while he was in North Korea, literally got turned they killed him. They made him brain dead in North Korea.
Propaganda
For taking a poster, let alone spreading propaganda.
posters made. 2, scout the area and get an idea of where I
Oh
can
my god, he's gonna wear a ghillie suit? Bro, you're gonna get sniped.
actually stealth camp. The goal is to be able to see the North Korea border right where I'm sleeping. And 3, don't get caught or shot. This actually might be the hardest part. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I think I've been more anxious the past few weeks than I have my entire life just from anticipating tomorrow. This will be my last night in an actual...
This is purely free will here, Jack. No, this is entirely optional. You came up with the video idea to stealth camp in South Korea on the border and booked your flight. And then you're sitting here like, damn, I really don't want to do this.
bed. I'm gonna try to get some sleep, and tomorrow we'll be sleeping at the North Korea border.
Is this the video you're in? Chat, what are you doing if you see him stealth camping and across the way in North Korea, I'm in the video? And I'm just standing there. I'm like, Jack?
If you're wondering why it's still dark outside, it's 5 a.m. Let's get dressed. I called myself an Uber to take me to the pickup spot for the tour, which was at this random train station.
Yo, I'm so calling a Waymo and just redirecting it to Pyongyang. I'm putting that shit in. I'm going, take me to Pyongyang. The Waymo just starts freaking out. It's like, error, error.
Oh,
Check.
hello.
Check.
Yes,
Check phone book.
yes, yes.
Oh my god, this random man just knows Jack.
Check phone book.
Jack Pembroke.
Oh no, he's the Uber driver. I thought he was a fan. I'd be like, it's me. I'm going to North Korea today.
This guy I've never met before rushed me into a van full of other people I've never met before. He said if we weren't on time, the military literally wouldn't let us in, so we were already in a rush. Okay. That is our tour guide, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we're getting on a bus. So we're loaded up into this bus with a bunch of other people, and this is when we meet our tour guide, Kelly.
We can stay at the DMZ for 3 hours.
She tells us
He just starts asking outlandish questions. So if you, sorry, Kelly, if somebody, just were to try and run across the border, like what would happen? I mean, I'm just spitballing here. Like if I were to wear maybe like a bubble armor and sprint really fast and kind of like dodge, would their outdated weapons kill me, or?
we're gonna have 3 different stops in the DMZ. As we got closer to the border, I could genuinely feel the intensity of what we were doing. I started to see Korean military like every mile, and I had that weird nervous feeling in my stomach. As we were pulling up to the entrance, Kelly told us,
When we get to the DMZ, we have to pass through the military checkpoint. The South Korean soldiers will check 3 kinds of your information.
which obviously made me feel uneasy knowing I had a bunch of propaganda posters.
Just shoved right up his ass, too. Jackie, you got to keister that shit. They're going to be patting you down, man.
In my backpack.
Okay, we're almost here, military checkpoint.
Bathroom!
From now on, all the photo or the video not allowed.
I snuck a video.
Oh, shit. He walks by me, I go.
Thankfully, we were granted access and we breezed through the military checkpoint. As we drove further and further, we crossed what was the previous border into North Korea and kept going until we were technically no longer in South Korea. All right, we're getting off the bus.
Wait, no longer in South Korea. Oh, wait, the DMZ is literally an area that's not owned by either country. I thought that there was just a gap that they wouldn't enter. I didn't know they still... they're not in South Korea anymore. He's gonna try and not catch the bus back? Jack, this is even worse. Jack, they've bussed you into the demilitarized zone and he's gonna try and stay? I thought that this was just like, he's going, like, I thought you'd be able to, like, walk up there. You got to pass through a military checkpoint, and he's going to try and fucking, like, ditch the group and go camp in the woods?
We're here. Oh my gosh, we're here.
At our first stop, we were immediately rushed into a theater to watch a video.
Although North and South Korea established their own.
This would be really funny if you had, like, Jack on, like, Find My iPhone and you knew he was doing this video. So you just start, like, spam calling him when it's, like, 2 a.m. and he's trying to be quiet. It's like, fuck, my phone keeps ringing.
Governments after World War II. The peace didn't last long.
This was really weird feeling, and I started to stress about scouting the surrounding area and making sure I get these posters up, because that's like the entire reason.
Bro, Jack, this isn't fucking Disney World, bro. This is the demilitarized zone.
And we're here, but Kelly made sure that everyone stayed next to her at all times and was constantly doing head counts. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. We all entered a room and were told to gear up for an old underground tunnel. This tunnel is extremely...
Jack just goes in the bathroom and blows up like a sex doll to sit in his chair. The guy next to him, he's like, don't fucking say anything. Puts there, jumps out the window.
Old and was originally built by South Korea to invade North Korea. While everybody was getting in line, I knew this could be my chance to break away from the group. I think I'm gonna try to dip out that door. And so without wasting any
God, he's actually gonna try and dip.
time, I took my chance.
Thank you.
This is so sketchy. I've broken away from the group. I gotta keep this low key. I don't even know where I am right now, dude. What the heck? Okay, I think they could be back any minute now, so I'm gonna attempt to find somewhere to put our first poster up. Gotta look for a good spot. I think right here on this pillar would be a perfect spot. As I was getting the posters out of my bag, I spotted a staff member just behind me. And sure enough, as I was taping the poster... How you doing? Oh, it's just video. Yeah.
Kelly Guru.
Yeah. I think this guy definitely knew I wasn't supposed to be there, so I had to make this quick.
What is the propaganda that he has? Like an AI generated like femboy Kim Jong-un or something? Big red YouTube arrow. Kim Jong-un does have a butthole. Oh. Oh my God, is it that he made Labubu's?
Come on.
Kim Jong-un, what does that say? Kim Jong-un has a $1.2 million Labubu collection.
Our first poster is up. Kim Jong-un has a $1.2 billion Labubu collection.
By Rap TV.
I mean, if this isn't the most embarrassing thing to be known for, I don't know what is. That's right, Kim. You can't stop me.
Do I still have my fake? Oh, I do. I got scammed out of this. This is a fake fucking Labubu. Imagine I found like a wire.
Poster 1 of 5 is up, and trust me, these posters are only gonna get more ridiculous.
Yo, Queso's headset dad, thank you for the 5 gift. It's the real thank you for the 1,000, but he's turned 18 today. Happy birthday, bro. Hope you're all right. Doctor, thank you for the sub. Terminated, thank you for the 3 or for the 5. I was banned the other day for like no reason. Can you look at the Terminated 1? It flagged the term in another language, and I don't know what it means. Mods, are we able to look at their ban? Heavens, thank you for the sub. Monkey Brad, thank you for the sub. Lil Jazz XT, thank you for the 3. Tell Juan Stock I've named 3 of the plushies after him, my Steppe and my Fortnite dog. I'm a Juan Stock mega fan. Fat for the sub last. Thank you for the 5. Took way too many edibles. Kind of scary. What do I do? Run your hands in cold water. Drink water and then go to bed. Seth, thank you for the sub. Sage, thank you for the 3. You helped me a lot. You're in my dream blunt rotation. Thank you. Oh, and Easy for the sub. Durpin. Fish. Moody, the guy. Lit. And Giuseppe for the sub. Pretty for the sub. Green. Gabe, thank you for the 5. Merch not getting restocked for a while. HQ, thank you for the sub. JC and Bruh, thank you for the sub. Cloudy, thank you for the 3. S2 and Led, thank you for the sub. Dark and Surf for the sub. Healthy for the sub. Next drop also isn't going to be closed. Probably thank you for the 3. One youth for the sub. Chloe for the sub.
And much harder to put up.
When's Rocket League tournament? Not for like 3.5 hours. What's the user? Terminated 1.
So the entire DMZ area is completely
You're annoying as
blocked
hell,
off.
bro. Why are you in my stream?
Like, I'm talking military checkpoints.
Yo, can we ban these chatters? Please. 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 There's so many. Hold up. Let me just ban like 20 people real quick. Oh my god, it's so fucking annoying. Throw it back in sub only. I don't know why we took it out. Why did we take it out? I need like 150 mods to have chat not in sub only because literally everybody just spams. Everyone just spams. I see paragraphs in all caps that are useless, meaningless. They're not even saying anything of substance. It's just spam. Phoenix and C-Dab, thank you for the sub. Oh, yeah, just unban him, some Russian. Thank you.
All the way throughout. So obviously getting
I think it misread it as the N-word, but it's not the N-word.
inside the DMZ is quite literally.
It was the bot flagged it. Undisputed, thank you for the 5 gifteds. Yo, lock back in. We'll take it out of sub only in a minute. Toaster, thank you for the 3. You gonna play Terraria? I don't know. Lock in. Plat, thank you for the sub. If you have any videos, watch games to play video, subscribe, game, subscribe. Lock in, 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 lock in.
Really impossible,
Mr. and Ren, thank you for the sub.
but I still think there might be a way to get really, really close to the border. Oh no. Check it.
I would just say no.
I mean, if just delete it, please.
Yeah, I can delete it.
I can just delete in the recent delete as well.
Yeah. I was just talking to you guys about potential sleep spots around the DMZ, not even in the DMZ, and a military soldier came up to me and made me delete the footage. I got a clip of him as I was walking away. This is insane, bruh. After almost being late to catch the
Why are you not allowed to film the other side?
bus, we made our way to stop number.
Like, why is that bad? It's just woods. It's not, like, there's not people on the other side, like, facing them in that area. Most secure place you try to sneak in or stay overnight. I don't really know, Zaf. Thank you for the 1,000 biddies. Custer, thank you for the sub. Cases, Mr. Pancake, thank you for the sub. Lock in.
To the observatory. I believe this is like the closest you can get to North Korea. The vibes are pretty tense.
The most, see, now you're getting me off topic. The most secure place I'd try to sleep. Yo, stop asking me to look at your unbanned requests. Don't send bits right now. Pin something to send. Don't send bits. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just want to watch. Bro, I just want to watch the video. Can you look at my unbanned requests? Your mom 014 got banned yesterday. Did it do something? Wait for an unbanned day. Wait for an unbanned day. That, or if it already got denied, it got denied. Your account's not banned, and you have no chats in my fucking stream. What? Your mom 0124. You're not banned. You have no chats, and you don't follow me. Sir and Ed for the sub. Dur, Nitro, and Zeph, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. Most secure place I would stay overnight? I mean, you'd have to pay me. I'm not doing that shit for free. Most secure place I'd try to stay overnight. Fuck, man. I would try to sleep outside of, like, Area 51. I don't think they'd shoot me. But I wouldn't get in Area 51. So if I have to, like, be in the place, I don't really know. Maybe, like, a building in D.C., like, I think I would try to, like, I think there's a world where I wouldn't be that nervous to, like, try and just, like, chill in a bathroom in, like, some museum, you know, in fucking D.C. The colon big for the sub. Kush, thank you for the sub. But, yeah, dude, I can't see your unbanned request because whatever user you just linked me isn't even following me and isn't banned in chat. So, I don't know what you want me to do. All right, yeah, let's lock in. Ben for the sub.
This is apparently where you can actually see North Korea. So I'm thinking this could be a perfect opportunity to scout a sleep spot for later tonight. And once at the top, despite all of the no filming restrictions, I captured this. You are looking at North Korea. Fun fact, that's a propaganda town. Nobody actually lives there and it's completely fake. This was one of the weirdest, most surreal feelings looking into this.
That's such a stupid thing. Like, hey, Kim Jong-un, instead of making an entire town that's fake to make it seem like your country doesn't suck ass, maybe make your country not suck ass. Isn't it almost around equal effort to put up infrastructure to make it seem like you're housing a town of 50,000 people? Then, like, I don't know, put that money towards, like, not having your people starve or, you know, not putting them in prison camps. It's like, what are we fucking doing?
This extremely mysterious and dangerous country, which means we've never.
You see, I don't know if this is real news or not, but I've been seeing that he is, like, claiming that his daughter will be the next ruler after him. And I'm curious to see if she will be uber dictator like him, like mega dictator. Like, do you think she'll be worse? She's worse? Bro, she's not going to be leader for like another 20 years. You know what I mean?
Never been closer
There's
to
no way she'll be worse.
my enemy, Kim. I need to put up another propaganda
No way.
poster. This wall right here would be perfect.
Ice.
Poster number 2. Oh my God. Kim Jong-un reportedly has a baby on the way with Ice Spice. People walk down this every couple minutes. Sure, hundreds of people are going to be able to enjoy this. Sorry, Kim. Except I wasn't sorry because I was far from done here. But when I saw that they had security cameras that were being watched around every single corner, I knew I had to be quick. But luckily, Kim can't run fast anyways. But before leaving, the bathroom...
What do you mean? Kim is the strongest person in the entire world. Kim is not even human, the feats that he's able to accomplish. I mean, Kim could probably run a 100-meter in about 4 seconds.
Was just calling to me. All right, guys, I'm here in the bathroom.
Kim invented the hamburger? No, his father invented the hamburger.
And I couldn't help but think that...
Kim invented the smash burger, a smash hit of the original. Huh.
I think this place needs a little bit of decorating. This might just be my best work.
I love to eat poop. See, that's fucking hilarious. Bruce put that in the bathroom. I wonder if like a worker sees that, I feel like they have to take it down.
This is a real quote. He actually said that. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here and I'm gonna get out of this bathroom. Poopy phase, poopy phase. I must have lost track of time here because I was called by Kelly and told that everyone was waiting for me and I was late for the bus. And due to military regulations, we needed to leave now. Okay.
Oh, he was mad late. Yo, it was a mile away.
Also had to apologize to everyone for being late. I'm sorry. Our third and final...
Please say sorry for everyone. Nah, that's humiliating. Oh my God. The tour guide goes, say sorry.
Stop was a small village in the DMZ. People that are handpicked by the military are able to live in this town for free. They even have their own emergency bunkers in case, you know, Kim decides to launch any of his thousands of missiles pointed directly at South Korea. Upon arrival, I was shocked to see a gift.
Dude, I wonder what Kim eats on like an average day. Like, do you think there has to be a time where Kim Jong-un has, like, genuinely paid somebody to, like, fly McDonald's over the border. He eats poop, a lot of poop. Dude, Kim Jong-un probably is the nastiest shits. Like, I mean, just imagine that. Kim with his slicked back hair, he, like, stumbles out of bed, like, naked, and he's like, oh, runs to the bathroom. runs to the bathroom in his like golden toilet, heated floor, while everybody around him is starving, and he's just fucking lighting that shit up.
Shop, and even more shocked to see what
Pounds of cheese.
look like North Korean money.
That's from North Korea. Yeah. Just hit a lick on Kim Jong-un. It's your money, bro.
Everyone's inside right now getting souvenirs, but I'm out here because I have 2 more pieces of propaganda to spread. I'm gonna try to slowly make my way away from the tour bus.
Wait, you can buy, sorry, I just zoned out. You could buy North Korean money? That's fucking sick. Like, I would pay like $100 for that.
Shocked to see what looked like North Korean money.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. You could buy North Korean money.
That's from North Korea. Yeah. Just hit a lick on Kim Jong-un. It's your money, bro.
Everyone's inside right now getting souvenirs, but I'm out here because I have 2 more pieces of propaganda to spread. I'm gonna try to slowly make my way away from the tour bus. This is so freaking sketchy. I don't know what this is right here. See if I can go through here. Okay, it's like a boarded up house. Okay, the bus is over there. I'm gonna try to put a poster up right here. I'm also noticing all around the DMZ is pretty much woods. So if I can get near that fence, anywhere around the DMZ, that would be right next to the border. There we go, baby. Kim Jong-un spotted on a romantic date with influencer Jack Doherty. No one would have ever thought something.
Nobody's gonna understand this though. The other ones, somebody from South Korea might know like who Ice Spice is. They're gonna be like, who the fuck is Jack Doherty?
Like this would be this close to the North Korea border, and that poster lives on forever. With 1 more poster left, I was feeling good. But as I was leaving, I forgot to realize that somebody lives in this house. And the owner of the house happened to come home right after I put the poster up.
What happens if you're at the DMZ and you just like throw some shit into the other border?
Oh my gosh, he's gonna
Wait, somebody lives there?
see it. Oh, no. Oh my God, he's gonna see it right now. I knew I could be caught here in any moment, and our last stop was coming to an end.
Okay, I hope that's not for me.
So I speed ran to put up our 5th and final poster. Here's our
Who is that? Is that Kim?
last poster. Skims? More like Kim's.
Skims with Kim.
Yeah, this is Kim Jong-un's face on Kim Kardashian's body. I don't know. This is what I could come up with. Before I knew it, the bus was ready to depart and I was out of there without getting caught. But as far as I know, I could still have a warrant out for my arrest from the
Do you think Kim knows what Ozempic is?
Korean military. And all I could think of the entire way home is that we still need a sleep spot.
I feel like yeah, but I don't think he doesn't work out. So I think it's like honestly, I think it's probably like a physical intimidation thing for him because he's kind of short. So it's a physical intimidation thing for him to be big. But because like if he lost weight, he wouldn't work out. So he would just look like bad.
For tonight, this was going to be a lot.
You think he looks maxes? Yeah. I think he jelks a lot.
More difficult than I ever would have anticipated. As much as that tour was a success because we spread all the propaganda we wanted, it was cut a bit short and we weren't able to do what we really came here for, which is find a place to stealth camp. So we're gonna have to do some scouting on our own terms.
You don't want to know.
I'm hopping on Google Maps and I'm gonna try to find a weak point right next to the border where hopefully we can actually see North Korea. I feel like there's gotta be an area we can sneak into. I scoured Google Maps.
Yo, what's crazy is like there is a chance that like Kim Jong-un is actually like a gooner and like subscribed to like people's OnlyFans, and you just wouldn't know. Like imagine being an OnlyFans model and like there being an off chance that like Kim pays for your shit.
For hours studying the surrounding area of the DMZ. I was limited by Google Street View and blocked off military property.
He watched the movie The Interview. I always wonder what his face was. Because Kim's seen the movie. I know there was The Interview was so bad that, or not bad, like not the movie was bad. The Interview, like propaganda was so bad that they wouldn't show it in theaters because, like, North Koreans were threatening them. So I'm like, Kim probably watched the movie and the whole time was just like, pissed.
But with enough determination.
Also, it's like, I truly believe that they probably, like, filter and moderate every piece of media that's about North Korea. Like, there's probably not Kim, but there's probably a North Korean representative that will see this video that Jack made.
2 hours later,
I might have found a spot. It's a little bit sketchy, I'm not gonna lie, but hear me out. So what it looks like to me is there's a freeway that spans hundreds of miles all the way down the North Korean border. And the way this is set up, you literally can't get anywhere close to the border on foot, unless you go from behind. So I've discovered this wooded area. It may or may not be on private property. And if I can sneak through these woods, there's a perfect spot on the edge of the hill. And this spot should not only give us a view of the North Korean border,
Bro, I'd just be like dead ass worried that I'd get like clipped by a sniper.
but it should allow us to see North Korea. The problem is this entire area is heavily guarded by military and CCTV cameras. And if they do happen to see me, they could think I'm a potential threat and shoot me. There's actually hundreds of signs all along right where I'm camping that if you translate it into English, that's exactly what it says. All of this considered.
Oh, wait. North Korea has implemented strict shoot-on-sight orders for its border areas where anybody entering buffer zones, including approaching a border, may be shot without warning. Jack.
That's exactly what it says. All of this considered, I literally cannot get caught, which means we're really gonna have to put the stealth in stealth camping. All right, let's do it.
Wow, is that a Temu fucking ghillie suit? That looks so bad. Oh my god.
This.
Looks like that shit was made with like dried seaweed.
For Jack?
I hopped in an Uber to take me to the spot far away from the city. The further we got, the more desolate it became and the more nervous I felt. An hour later, we arrived to a really just sketchy road up a hill. In the pitch dark, we drove into what I can only describe as like a mini town where I was dropped off. I don't know where the heck I am right now. This is the weirdest and like most scary feeling ever. I'm like in the middle
Bro,
of
and then trying to get picked up after that, oh my god. Like, you're not even in Seoul, bro. You're not near any city. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's dark outside. There's like one street light.
Korea, and God
Holy
knows.
shit. This alone is scary. Without the whole, I'm gonna go camp in North Korea. Like, you're just in the middle of nowhere now. Your ride left you.
Where we got to find those woods that I scouted on Google Maps. It's pitch dark and freezing cold. I have no idea where they are, and I am pretty nervous to sleep in the woods because after some further research, I found out there's tons of animals that live in there, such as warthogs, leopards, black bears, and a ton of other animals and creatures that I want nothing to do with. I say we get a move on before somebody comes out here and catches us. This is Operation Find the Woods.
Yo, this deadass feels like a chill as art horror game. Like, this looks like a scene of a horror, like a walkthrough horror game we play on stream, where you're just like waiting for somebody to start following you. Oh my god, is that thing not? I don't think it's tied up.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Oh, there's a freaking dog. I think it's on a leash. Bro. Alright, we gotta find these freaking woods right now. With a whole neighborhood of dogs wanting to kill me, I knew I had to find an inn, like right now. What is this? Alright guys, I found an empty construction zone. And I think this could lead us into the forest. I found a fence. And I'm pretty sure that is the forest right there.
Bro, it's so dark, he doesn't know where he is. He has, like, what if he gets so close to the border and he just doesn't know? Like, I can't even see, he can't see 4 feet in front of him.
I'm gonna have to hop this thing.
Oh my God.
I can't even see where I am right now. Now we have to climb into these woods. Oh my God, this is so sketchy. It's time to do this. When I get scared, I do this thing where I count down from 3 in my head, and on 3, I have to do it. So if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna count in my head.
I feel like I would want, do you think he tried to get like somebody to go with him? I would want to do this with someone else. Doing this alone is so scary. Like, I think I could do this with like Chris or like one of my friends. Because then it's just like, well, if I'm fucked, you're fucked. Not like a mutually assured destruction of like, all right, well, if one of us gets in trouble, we're both screwed.
I gotta grab my stuff. This is so steep.
Or you should turn off that big ass flashlight.
Oh. Ow. Oh, fuck. Oh my God. There's snow all over the ground. We're getting closer and closer to the border. But I didn't realize how far I still was. This hill was more of a mountain, and I slightly underestimated how hard it would be getting up it. Oh. This tree just saved my life. Holy shit. As I got further up the mountain, things got quiet. Oh, this is so fucking scary. And I was just praying that I didn't hear.
Dude, imagine from a distance you hear fucking screaming in Korean. Holy shit. I gotta look that up. Hold up. I have to immerse myself. Screaming in Korean. Something with better mic quality, maybe. Hold up. Okay, that's not even screaming in Korean. That's just a Korean man screaming. Korean language yelling.
Angry phrases in Korean. I said stop it.
Okay, yeah, mic quality straight out of a fucking potato. Jesus. Hot Korean woman has her eye on you. What rabbit hole have I gone down? Hot North Korean woman has her eye on you. Why was this posted 16 years ago? What the fuck? She's not even looking at the camera. What do you mean? Dude, where's like somebody screaming in Korean? How hard is it to find somebody screaming in Korean? Angry Korean man. All right, I think it might be cooked. All right, we're giving up on that.
Hear a bear growl.
Oh my God, Squid Games. Wait, that's copyrighted.
The further I got, the more I sensed that I definitely wasn't supposed to be there. There's an old barbed wire fence right here, and it looks like I could get through it. This looks like the top. What is this? This looks like a military bunker.
Yeah, probably might be a bomb up there, Jack. Might be a bomb up there. Could be a landmine.
Oh. At this point, I came way too far to turn back now, so I just kept going. But then I thought I spotted something in the distance.
What is that?
Oh my God, is that actually a fucking bunker?
What the heck? I think this is an actual military bunker. Let's keep going.
I continued on getting closer and closer to the spot.
We're getting closer.
And with enough to
There's a car right there. Why do you get the Uber driver to drop you off right there? Bro's walking for 40 minutes. There's a car.
determination, an hour and a half of hiking later,
This is it. We made it to the top.
Oh, is that North Korea? That's not North Korea.
As I'm literally shaking, that is the North Korea border all along this way right here. And in the distance, right there, should be North Korea. This is insane. I can't believe I'm actually here, dude. I don't know if you guys can see, but right there is the North Korea border. And all along this way are hundreds of military outposts ready to shoot for any potential threat. It's so dark, you can't even see it, but I anticipated that might be the case, so I brought this with me, a night vision camera. Okay, I don't know how much you guys can see or how good the video quality is, but this
It's about 480p.
is where I am right now. That looks like it might be a military outpost, so hopefully they can't see me right now. And North Korea should be just right there in the distance. It's really hard to see because it's so unbelievably dark. So I am just hoping to God that tomorrow morning when the sun rises, we can get a view of North Korea. I feel like the outdoor
Yo, I feel like he's not prepared to sleep outside. Like, it's probably like 10 degrees out.
boys right now. This is so cool. Okay guys, so I'm sitting here in this bunker that I found. There's two things we gotta do before we go to bed. First things first, I gotta eat dinner because I can't go to bed on an empty stomach. I brought this with me. It's some ramen I got at the 7-Eleven and I have no way to cook it. Let's get some seasoning.
If you eat that shit like it's a dry hockey puck, Jack, you could have just gotten like a protein bar, man. I mean...
on there.
Okay.
Bon appetit.
Awesome.
Very dry. I should have brought water. And secondly, entertainment. Now there's
Didn't bring water for the night. Didn't bring water. Jack just popped on the ghillie suit and called the Uber. Got in the car. I usually have gloves.
no service out here, but if you know me personally, you know there's one thing I'm absolutely obsessed with. Pokemon. This is a Korean pack of prismatic evolutions. We'll see if we can get that
No, definitely survival necessity here, Jack. We're going to sleep on the border when it's freezing outside. We got to bring the prismatic evolutions fucking pack. Yeah, that's really gonna we're gonna hit big here.
Korean luck and pull a freaking sick card. Got a Goldeen.
Groudon. That's one of my favorite Pokemon. That's probably worth like 5 cents, but that's a cool card.
Oh, okay, that's pretty sick. We got a Groudon Hollow. I know I'm a nerd. It's okay. I guess there's only one more thing left to do. Get ready for bed.
Why are my mods polling if you like plain cornflakes? Yo, I'm gonna have the take plain Cheerios. So good. Don't need sugar. Don't even need like good. I could eat those dry. They got like a weird tang to them.
All right, guys, I'm ready for bed. It is
I
current.
still think Honey Nut Cheerios are better than plain, but I do like plain Cheerios. And I do like plain cornflakes. Frosted Flakes are just cornflakes with fucking sugar on them. But I do like cornflakes. I'm also a big fan of Raisin Bran. I love Raisin Bran. I think Raisin Bran tastes so fucking good. And it's like, it makes me feel like, I know it's really sugary, but it feels better because it's like from raisins and like more natural shit.
Only 12 degrees outside. My lips hurt. My nose hurts. My hands are on fire. Today's been the longest day of my life and one of the craziest. My goal since I've got here has been to sleep so close to North Korea that I can see it. And so far, we haven't really seen it. So I'm hoping and I'm praying tomorrow morning when that sun rises, we can get an actual view at North Korea. I'm gonna attempt to get some sleep, and I'll see you guys in the morning. I think I just heard something in the bushes.
Fucking bear.
It is so freezing cold right now, and I can't sleep for the life of me. It's 6:36. The sun still hasn't rose.
I love these vlog clips, but Jack had to wake up, set up the camera, press record, lay back down, put the ghillie suit back over his head, and then fake wake up again. Like, every vlog, they have, like, any scene where they're walking towards the camera, they walk where it is, set it up, walk back, and then do it again. You ruin the magic. I mean, it's film.
Guys, that is North Korea. That's actually it. Look at that. Look at that land right there. We did it. Oh my gosh. That right there is a military outpost. And that is the border. Fuck you, Kim. Take that, you freaking poopy, stinky idiot. But there was one lingering.
On video, it's like, it's a little dampened, but like from doing, I mean, I've never been to North Korea, but from doing vlogs and filming shit, it's like, that probably did feel surreal, you know? To actually be in South Korea and see North Korea with your own fucking eyes.
Thought I just couldn't shake. Who's next on my list?
Photo surface of Kim Jong-un enjoying a stay on Epstein's Island. Kim Jong-un says, he was one of my best friends. Wow. That one's not going to get taken down either. All the other ones probably aren't. That's probably still up. Because this is just in the woods. So nobody's going to look at that shit. Oh my God. Wow, whenever somebody eventually finds that, they're going to be so confused. Do you think like the average South Korean knows who Jeffrey Epstein is? I don't know. I feel like the news with him has transcended the United States. But I feel like it's primarily like, I don't know. For my UK and Australian viewers that watch me, or just anybody that's not from the US, is like Jeffrey Epstein on the news for you? Like, he's all over the news now with, like, what's happening and, like, the leaks. Really? Because I feel like it's all, like, U.S. government shit where they're, like, going over the files and stuff. But, I would assume it's on in Europe. I feel like Asia, though, probably not. Like, how much they cover about it is probably a lot less. Who knows? All right. Well, that was a good video. Doc hit the Delightful for the sub. Joey and 400 for the sub. Best, thank you for the 5. Do you have a Gamer Subs flavor that you can use your code on? No. But I may be making a cup soon. Or a shaker cup, rather, not a regular cup. But I do like Guacamole Gamer Fart. You can use code BAR on anything, though. Wally, thank you for the 5 subs. Rather than A-Boy for the sub. Jonah and Blue for the sub. Yang and Chowsa, thank you for the sub. Get the, bang for your buck. Get the tubs. I use the tubs, like, here and there, but on stream, I just drink RTDs because it's easier. But, like, the tubs are, like, you know, a shitload of servings. They taste as good. Yang for the sub. Chowsa, thank you for the sub. Gabe, thank you for the 3. Go to Rabbit Hole. I want to see where we end up. Bushy and Tumble, thank you for the sub. Blackberry and F, thank you for the sub. G Supreme Mac, the lore, thank you for the 3. Been a rough time with the streams, trying to pull me out of that depression, laugh to break the cycle. So thank you. Well, I'm glad I'm able to help, man. I hope you're all right. Darren Fish for the sub. It's and White for the sub. Darren and Dare for the sub. Odd Brady, MG and KO for the sub. Stale and Jake, thank you for the sub. Goon Mac, Alexis for the sub as well. Dan for the sub. Legal, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. Been watching since early 23. I want to say you're the best to watch. I appreciate how much you've done with people in charity. On a side note, if you ever want to play Terraria, play with other people, have a wiki up, because you'll get confused and hate it if you don't. I've played Terraria once, and my friend taught me it, and that shit made no sense. It was fun, but it's definitely a lot more complex, like tenfold comparable to Minecraft. X-Poon, Jax for the sub, Rob for the sub, Gold, thank you for the 2 subs. Life for the sub, Queso, thank you for the 3. Yesterday, my girlfriend's dad randomly came up to me, started pressing me, telling me to show him how tough I am, thinking he was joking. I say I'm just brown, I'm native, and then he says, yeah, poop brown, and I say poop is pretty tough. Apparently, he thought that was disrespectful. Then he asked for an apology, and I said, what? Which really made him mad. What do I do? I don't really know, man. I think that's really up to you. I've never heard any situation similar to that before. I'm sorry you're going through that, though. X-Lick and Jalissus for the sub. Average Benny for the sub. Fat. Eid, Sir, Nitro, and Durag, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the 5. Johnny, thank you for the 3. Watch streams, watch movies on stream. That's illegal. Alex for the sub 5, thank you for the 3, unless they're not copyrighted. I'm from Western Asia. You'd be surprised the amount of US and US government news that we receive on our news channel. Wally, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you if you got a sub. Thank you for the 10 gifted. ZMC and Looter, thank you for the sub as well. All right. I got to piss, then we're going to hop into the next video. Yap me down. We're back. Scuddy, thank you for the 3. Me and my girlfriend, a couple of my friends went to parade yesterday. I had a falling of watermelon, crawl, daiquiri. I've never been this hungover, but it was worth it. What do you mean a falling? Josh, thank you for the sub. MGA, thank you for the 5 gifted. Fraser and the bread for the sub. Faran, thank you for the 5 gifted. Medic, thank you for the 3. How are you doing? Good. How are you? Fiu, thank you for the sub. Hayden, thank you for the 3. Ordered the sample pack for Gibbous subs. Never received it. Anybody else had this problem? Don't know. Blonde, thank you for the sub. Wally, thank you for the 10 gifted. How long ago did you order it? Marius, thank you for the sub. All right. Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. Don't send bets right now. DWC, thank you for the 3. What are your thoughts on people dumping on you? What do you mean? What do you mean dumping on me? Like pooping on me? I'm for the sub. What is dumping? Oh, trauma dumping. Maybe say that. You said like terma dumping. You mean trauma. I don't know. I mean, I think that there's I've talked about this before. There's chatters that are going to come in my stream and, you know, they don't really have anybody else to go to, so they just kind of want to vent. And I think that's fine. I'm not, like, upset if people want to tell me, like, hey, like, somebody died. This is what I'm going through. It's more so just, like, I feel bad that I can't help, and sometimes people ask me for advice for situations that I can't really give advice to. Avatar, thank you for the sub. Ved and Matthias for the sub. All right, lock back in, though. Reacts right now. Rocket League tournament in 3 hours. Tomorrow, we're going to be live early at like 2:30. SMP into random shit. Tuesday, Tuesday we're doing High on Life 2. Wednesday, we're doing Poppy Playtime 5. Thursday, not live. Friday, Reacts. Saturday, High on Life 2. Sunday, Reacts next Monday. SMP Random Games next Tuesday. I'm not live next Wednesday. Charity stream for AHA, and we're going to go from there. 6 for the sub, Ryan for the sub. Still setting up the event, though. I'll have more info on, like, the crowd control and the games that we're playing and stuff like that later. 6, thank you for the sub. Lock in, though. Oh. Next video. Toss it back in sub only. 1,000 ants versus natural disasters. I think this is... Yeah, it's a Terra Green video. All right. 1,000 ants versus natural disasters. This will be fucking interesting.
Ants are known for their insane ability to work together to accomplish impossible tasks. So I was wondering what would happen if I put my...
It's weird how they work like a hive mind. Like, they don't really... It's not that they don't care, but, like, ants will die for the betterment of their, like, hive or community without hesitation. And obviously, like, they're not as conscious as us, you know, to even question that. But the way that a lot of, like, insects function, yeah, their colony, like, they'll just die no problem. Like, bees especially. Like, bro, you're effectively suicide bombing an animal to protect your colony, and all they go is, ow. Ah. Like, imagine being a bee. You're like, oh, this person's approaching us. I'm now going to kill myself to stop them. And all your efforts just cause them to go, ah. And then keep doing what they're doing.
1,000 ant colony up against a natural disaster.
Ants are mad impressive, though. They can do the, I mean, it showed it right there. They can build, like, chain links to, like, scale stuff.
Would they actually be able to stop and survive them by working together?
Well, that's exactly why I gathered up 1,000 ants. And I have the...
Bro, ain't count those. You think he counted them out? Or it's just a rough 1,000?
5 coolest natural disasters planned, starting with
a tsunami! Bro just starts peeing on him.
the most iconic, an earthquake. Yup, ants, I went out and bought...
Are you going to simulate an earthquake?
A realistic...
I feel like that's not going to hurt them at all. An earthquake?
Earthquake simulating platform that if I go and press this button, whatever on top starts to shake so much, which recreates a real earthquake. Oh, dang.
But what I'll actually be putting on here is this 2D ant nest and filling it up.
Oh, and their ant nest is going to collapse because of the earthquake.
With the 1,000 ants, of course. Basically, these ants will dig...
What do you think that shit would taste like if you just ate a mouthful of those motherfuckers? I've eaten a lot of bugs for videos. I feel like it'd be... I've usually eaten dead, dry ones, though. I think they'd be a little hard, but also, like... They would pop like gushers. They'd probably taste like dirt.
These ants will dig out tunnels along the glass like my last ant video, but throughout that process, the earthquake machine will lightly go off to gently collapse the tunnels while the ants are digging. That way, I can show you how ants evolve to survive earthquakes in the wild, and if they pass, they move on to the more and more interesting disasters.
If they pass, so we're taking the survivors and bringing them... Dude, we're running them through the gauntlet. Start with 1,000 ants, you're going to end with like 6. What is this one? Acid?
Now, as you could
acid rain? Jesus Christ.
probably imagine, the ants wasted no time to get to work. Ants are so tiny, and while a single ant would basically be able to make no progress whatsoever, when you have a 1,000 ants, things are done at an insanely rapid pace, as workers started picking up grains of sand along the glass, so each tunnel could be full.
Yo, they actually holding them in their paws, though, bro. He had like 8 grains.
It's so cool to see time-lapse footage of these tunnels being made, because they literally dug out this entire amount of sand in only like 6 hours.
So I'm wondering what's going to happen to these tunnels when I turn on this earthquake machine.
Now, I started by turning it on the least powerful setting.
Okay, it's shaking super slowly. Now, it's my goal to make sure not a single ant is harmed in this video. I just want to show you how... insanely smart they are and how they will overcome all these disasters. And
surely some of them die. Surely some of them die. You have 1,000 ants, you're going to be putting them through 5 natural disasters.
in the wild.
But even this very light shaking was definitely felt amongst the colony. The workers along the top area immediately knew something was off, and they started frantically
You think they could get nauseous?
running around, as you can see. And when we take a look down under the nest where all the tunnels are, you can see those ants were acting similarly. Ants know during earthquakes, their tunnels have the chance to collapse, so all of them were being extremely careful. Very interestingly enough, in this room here, many of the ants were gathering up on the walls of the room to add an
No way. They're holding up the fucking walls.
extra layer of support so it wouldn't collapse. But of course, when an earthquake happens in the wild, a part of the nest is bound to collapse, so it wasn't long until this happened. A bit of the sand here started to fall, completely blocking off this tunnel. I immediately turned off the machine to make sure the ants wouldn't be too stressed out while they had to commence a rescue mission. Because as you can see, while most of the ants were
Yo, that one is dead as fuck. It just fell on top of him. Wouldn't he be suffocating?
able to squeeze out like this guy here, at least one ant was partially trapped in this collapsed tunnel. But amazingly, it looked as though one of the ants was already picking up some of the sand from the collapsed portion to clear it out. And yeah, literally so quickly, the ants excavated the entire collapsed tunnel, enough to where it was a perfectly functional area to
Question. I know we looked this up where like the queen ant or queen bee in like colonies and hives, they feed one is chosen, they feed them royal jelly, blah, blah, blah. They grow to become the queen, and then that's the one that lays eggs. And, you know, do they fuck? Or is it like a salmon type situation where they lay eggs and then fertilize them? Because if the queen ant, how does the queen ant choose who does it? Bang it? Yeah, let me edge it. Do ants have sex? Yes, ants have sex, but it's highly specialized one-time event for reproduction. Winged virgin ants and winged males leave their nests for a nuptial flight to mate in the air. These are winged ants. After mating, the male dies and the queen stores the sperm to fertilize eggs for her entire life. What's with that? Okay. What's with that? What's with, you know, praying mantises eating the male and the male just dying, or like the salmon, like they jizz on the eggs and then they die. Like yeah, somebody said nut and bust. Honestly, yeah. Like they just immediately die after every time. Do you think it's like a good last minute for them? You know? Like, they're exhausted, but it's like, is it like a bad experience? Like, they're going out, you know, peaking. Oh, wow. Is this real? No.
to walk through again. And funnily enough, some of the ants even started to walk in and slowly dig out the area where the sand had just collapsed from to make a new tunnel there.
Wow, the ants just completed this natural disaster. They are so smart. But the natural disasters are...
The next natural disaster is a fire, so I'm gonna douse them in gasoline and see what happens. All right, it's earthquake, tornado, or wind, flood, snow. That has to be acid. Or is that heat?
designed to get more interesting as the video goes on. So next up, we got a sandstorm. Yes, Antsy, you heard that right, and this will be taking place in the separate desert enclosure.
Yes, we need to have a separate tank, so that way I can make this sand blow around like crazy to replicate a real sandstorm.
And along with this blow dryer, I've also got all these fans that clamp to the walls, and I can just set up to constantly blow the ants back.
For the ants to be able to pass this disaster, they're gonna have to do something like grab onto each other's bodies or something to be able to push past this intense wind. And if
yeah, but they can't die from that type of, like, can't ants physically not die from fall damage? Because they're so light They're so light that if they hit the ground, they're not going quick enough to hurt them.
They can make it to this canyon, climb up it, and make it to the Terra Green Leaf Bowl. Then they're gonna get a ton of seeds, which is their favorite food.
All right, let me just hook up this tubing like so, and the ant should start.
See, like, can we have some YouTubers do some, like, can we give, like, ants cocaine and see what happens? Like, is that immoral? Like, what, because I'm just saying, like, I feel like they would be a lot more, you know, amped up. Like, they've done that. We've done that. That's a real experiment. We've given ants cocaine. I bet they probably make weird-ass hives.
Come on, man, let's go.
Oh, my God, I saw that with bees. How bees make hives on different drugs. Or no, spiders. It was spiders. How spiders weave webs on different drugs. And on MDMA, it's like just one string or something. How spiders weave webs on drugs.
Hey everyone. Today I'm diving into the fascinating. They were initially trying to change the time. Just surprising, they were downright fascinating. So what did they do? Well, each of mescaline, strychnine, LSD, and caffeine. Each of these drugs has a unique effect on the human brain. So the scientists were curious to see how they would impact the spiders' web building skills. They weren't just looking at when the spiders built their wild. The webs varied dramatically depending on the substance the spiders were exposed to. Let's start with caffeine. When given low doses, the spiders spun small.
Wow. LSD, speed, marijuana, caffeine, normal. So marijuana's the closest to normal. Caffeine, they're like full tweaking. They're making like non-web formations. LSD, it's just like long strands.
Webs with uneven radii. It was as if the caffeine made them jittery and unable to maintain their usual precision. But when the dose was increased, the webs got even smaller and the designs became super irregular. The higher the dose, the more chaotic the web.
Oh my God, I hate looking at spider webs, bro. Oh, walking into a spider web sucks. That's like day ruining, dude. When you're like, ugh, and you're trying to like pull it off of you because you can't see it, but you feel it, and you're like, and then you're nervous now there's a spider on you. Oh, I hate that shit.
Yup, and this tubing is set up so once an ant enters the disaster, they can't get out. That way, we'll progressively get to see more and more teamwork as time goes on. Now, immediately, you could see these first ants just kind of thought this was a normal desert as they were walking through it, but quickly, I brought out my mini sandstorm fan, and I started to blow. Immediately, the ants started to feel the wind pressure pushing them back, and were suddenly not able to walk forward. Some even lost their grip and got pushed back a bit. And as more ants entered the desert, you could tell the sandstorm was keeping them all stuck to the left side of this enclosure.
Bro, saying the sandstorm, bro. You're putting a hairdryer. I feel like we need like a high fucking velocity fan.
Yo, this little mini fan is fire for replicating a sandstorm. But no, this is where it gets interesting. Because now that they know a sandstorm is brewing, how are they going to figure out how to get to these seeds? Well, let's see.
While most ants kept trying to just walk forward and getting blown back, interestingly enough, many of the ants were gathering up in this back area here near the sticks. And many of them were actually starting to climb onto the sticks. You see,
yeah, fucking taking cover.
The fan doesn't really blow ants back if they're walking on sticks, since there's just so much of a better grip on there. But yeah, the second they climb off and stand on the sand again, they'll get blown back, as you can see. But the ants were starting to learn that they needed to stay on the sticks. So many started to gather up and march towards the right side where all the seeds were located. In fact, this ant was making it dangerously close to the seeds using the stick method. And well, he was able to make it to the little rock canyon and almost was there to the seeds.
Oh my gosh, this ant climbing right now is a beast. I am blowing this fan max speed on him and he is just stuck to this rock.
And as I let my guard down for literally 1 second, this dude made a dash for the seeds, literally running straight towards it, and well, he made it in. And he looked so happy to have gotten those seeds. He was just dancing around in there.
Yo, this ant is crazy. I didn't even have time to blow him back when he got up into this area.
Since the ants passed a disaster, I gathered them all up and put them back into the—
Past the disaster? One fucking ant made it. What do you mean? They didn't pass shit. There was like 12 of them, and they all fuck. You were just blowing the fan on them, and then one of them makes it, and we go, oh, that's a pass. One.
the nest. And I give them the food prize, which of course they start to take down into the nest over the next 5 minutes.
But ants, I'm not gonna lie, this natural disaster was kind of easy to pass. But if we really want to learn about how ants survive, well, we gotta go to our third natural disaster, a flood.
Yup, and as you can see,
Yo, I used to pee on ant hills all the time when I was a kid, bro. I've said this before, that shit was actually like target acquired. When I was a kid, I'd be at like T-ball practice or some shit, and I'd be like, oh, I gotta go pee. Run into the woods. I'd see an anthill. Oh my God, I would just pee straight right where the hole was, just right in it.
I've built another custom tank
Drowning them.
where the flood is going to be getting simulated. I know there's no water yet, but
You're a weirdo. Okay, ask any guy when they were a kid, they peed in anthills. I'm certain of that. I'm certain that 94% of men peed on anthills when they were a kid.
you'll see how quickly that changes. For now,
Certain.
all you gotta know is if the ants make it all the way to this leaf ball, they'll once again get rewarded with tons more seeds.
You're Dahmer. No, Jeffrey Dahmer would skin and separate animal parts. I think peeing on an anthill is a little bit different than decapitating a squirrel and messing with its organs. I don't think they're the same at all.
These ants have no idea what's about to hit them. Let's connect this tubing so these guys can start walking in.
Quickly, the ants started to make their way in. But before the ants had any time at all to take in their surroundings, I had to activate the flood.
So to make the
Just you. Did you pee on ants? This is a question mainly for guys. But, you know, if you don't, I'm just saying I don't want to have this bias because I'm assuming most women are probably going to say no because most guys are peeing outside. Oh, wow. 70% of chatters are saying yes. 70% of chatters saying they peed on ants. So
flood happened, I gotta go down here to this little bucket, plug it in, and then
it was weird. I had like a vendetta for ants when I was a kid. I didn't like ants. I really liked roly-polies. I would never hurt roly-polies. Them and centipedes. I would search for roly-polies under rocks, and I would never kill them, but I would put them in like a fake arena. Not have them, you know, fight to the death or anything, but I would just like watch them for like 10 minutes, and then I'd put them back. Centipedes were sick, though. Dude, no, the only other bug that I hated more, what are they called? They're like a stick, and they have two prongs and two prongs. What are they called? They're like a stick, and it's like this, and then like that. It's not a mantis. They walk. They're not a stick bug. They pinch you. I think they're literally called like pincher bug. These fuckers. Oh my God. I will kill these fuckers to this day. To this day. If I see one of these, bam! Bam! Dead. Because they just bite the shit out of you. Oh, they're called earwig? I didn't know that. I always called them pincher bug. Pinchers. Because they have a little pincher on them. They're mean little fuckers. They would always bite you.
And out the end of this tube, oh yeah, water, oh shoot, water's coming out. Okay, I just gotta carefully, move that over there, okay. There we go.
Similar to real life, floods will block off paths for ants while they're trying to travel, so this is exactly what that recreates. And the ants are gonna have to find a way to pass these gaps using the objects I've provided for them. As you can tell, the ants in here immediately were a little confused on what to do. Many were gathering up near the water edge, inspecting what the heck just happened. Some even fell into the water, but don't worry, any ant that falls in, I'll be rescuing and bringing back to the start so no ants get hurt. But also, many of the ants were actually sort of...
Oh no, I have killed ants recently. Remember when I had an ant problem in this room? Yeah, no, I did kill ants recently. Okay, here's the take that I have. If they're in your apartment, they're trespassing. Dead. Outside, I'm not going to kill them.
Gathering around the objects I had placed in. And as I left my camera recording, I was extremely amazed by what I saw happen. Out of nowhere, this feather started to slide.
You know a bug? What's like a bug that you always see inside but never outside? I feel like there's so many bugs that you see inside, but it also depends on region that you're in. Yeah, like house flies. Where do you see a house fly? I've never seen I've seen horse flies outside. Never see a house fly outside. Fruit flies as well. No, fruit flies you see outside. I've seen fruit flies outside. Stink bugs.
Slightly move. And as I kept watching, it slowly started nudging around.
Cockroach? Yeah, but Chad, I've never had a cockroach problem.
More and more. There must have been an ant underneath, and this ant was genuinely moving the feather closer and closer to the water until literally like magic, it was moved almost entirely in, and an ant crawled out right from underneath as soon as that happened. Dang, this guy must have been helping move it.
Yo, these ants are absolutely insane. I don't know what ant just moved this feather into the water, but I mean, let's just see what they do.
We didn't get the feather. So we jump cut from them moving it, bro. There's no way. There's no way I know ants are smart. I'm like, bro, but like that's a perfect bridge.
These ants are absolutely insane. I don't know what ant just moved this feather into the water, but I mean, let's just see what they do.
It took a couple minutes, but eventually a couple more of the workers started to step onto the feather and started to walk across it to, of course, make it to our second platform. Now, unfortunately, the ants got to do the same exact thing here. Sorry, guys. I know you already did it once. But to my surprise, the ants literally wasted no time to start gathering around these feathers and directly in the area under them. And while it took a couple hours, eventually my camera caught this same exact thing happening. The feather slowly inched towards the water.
Was I wrong? I'm so sorry. They actually moved the feather. No way. They moved the feather to use it as a bridge.
Until, well, it had made a bridge across almost.
Let's go ants. Now, I did help them a little bit by just moving.
Well, yeah, because it would just fall into the water.
The feather up onto this platform, but for the most part, they actually were moving those.
And yep, it didn't take long till I first.
Yeah, I think I think if you didn't help them, they would still do it. It would just take them forever, you know?
First worker stepped onto the final platform and climbed up into the leaf dish to claim their seeds.
All right, well done, little ant, and here is your guys' reward. Well, guys, if you want even better food, you're gonna have to complete this next natural disaster, which is a blizzard. And guys, this is gonna be happening in your nest. Be prepared.
Yup, this blizzard will be taking place inside of the ant nest, so we could study how ants handle the cold in the wild.
Now, obviously, I can't just go and dump a ton of snow on them. That would totally just freeze them all. Instead, I've actually...
Why not? I feel like that's a snowstorm. Well, they know it's getting colder. Yeah, reduce temperature in the room for 30 minutes. They'll go in their hole, and then you fucking pour a bunch of ice on them.
We got some ice cubes, which I'm gonna go and just plop on this... Which, as you can see, this makes a nice little makeshift snow that on my laser thermometer is approximately -Celsius degrees.
I started by sprinkling a super tiny amount of this ice on the ant nest to see how they'd initially react. And interestingly, well, not even a single ant cared at all. Yeah, this ice just melted completely into the sand. Since the ants weren't affected by that, I decided to up the amount of ice I put in, which should give us a reaction to how ants handle the cold in the wild. And this time, the ants were actually a bit more interested in the ice, with some of them even crawling on top of them. But the most fascinating thing I had noticed was how much the ants had started to slow down their movement since the start.
Thankfully, all the ants are doing just fine still, but if you look very closely, these ants, for the most part, have slowed down so much. I mean, look at how slowly some of them are moving.
Yup, this is one of ants' special abilities. Because in the winter, when it starts to snow and the temperature...
Yeah, I always wonder what they do. Like, it's not hibernation per se, but they have to stay underground for the whole winter, basically.
Temperature drops drastically. The ants are basically biologically built to start moving slower. That way, they can conserve as much energy as possible and go hide deeper underground.
So yeah, in the wild, they would dig even deeper and all the ants would relocate to under the nest. I don't want to put any ants at risk, so I'm going to very carefully take out all the pieces of ice so this place will warm back up to the proper temperature.
And once the tank was warmed
those ants were dead as shit.
up, I'd say the ants
Those ants had to have died. There's no way.
are now ready for their final natural disaster, which this time is a zombie apocalypse.
And I'm
What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? What do you mean a zombie apocalypse? Like he's gonna put another breed of ant in there?
not gonna lie, this is probably
I
gonna
thought this was gonna be like acid rain.
be the most interesting to watch
Fun guy.
because I've got 3 different types of insects that, in a way, is going to represent a zombie apocalypse.
Now, our first insect prey is, well, zombie grasshoppers. Yes, these are grasshoppers that Petco sells that are literally like half decomposing and meant for feeding animals. And I'll be bringing them back to life and moving it in front of the ants to see what they do.
And to make the ant swarm this even more, I'm gonna dip some of it in this brown sugar water. And yeah, this is gonna make it super tasty.
Why don't you just put an actual like scorpion in there? Like, why are we putting we're putting a dead grasshopper and fucking moving it like a Muppet?
Without further ado, let's get this in here.
Now, immediately after dipping this in the nest, I started to do a really good, accurate job of moving this around to act like it was alive. And I think the ants were falling for it because you can see they quickly started to climb all over it. And if you also look closely, the ants were actually grabbing onto this thing with their insanely strong mandibles, and they were injecting their venomous stingers into it. Which is kind of unnecessary. This thing is already long gone, but I guess I'm just doing such a good job moving it around that they think it's actually a real zombie grasshopper.
Okay, you guys are doing a good job attacking this. I'm just gonna leave that in there for you while I get this second insect ready.
And yeah, they start to absolutely devour this grasshopper.
If I don't see an alive bug, fight these ants.
But anyways, our second insect food is this. They're called wax worms, and they're a staple food for ants because of how squishy they are.
But yeah, they just look so weird. So that's why I'm putting them in the zombie apocalypse section of the video. Let's go ahead and add these guys in.
I decided to put this first wax worm on top of where all the ants were still located around that grasshopper. And well, the ants almost instantly recognized the prey, and amazingly, they knew exactly what to do. And they took this dude straight down into the tunnel system.
Alive! They're gonna torture him down there.
Where it wouldn't even stand a chance to fight back.
Oh my gosh, that was like 3 seconds.
Nah.
And now this worm is literally nowhere
Didn't even kill him.
to be seen. It's probably in the tunnel system. Dang, that's actually kind of impressive, ants.
So I dropped the other 2 wax worms inside, and once again, one of them instantly got pulled down into the tunnel system to get eaten, and this one started to get swarmed. After the ants had a good grasp of it, they literally brought it over to these hills in the back, which eventually the worm was then brought down one of the holes on that hill. It's so cool, because if you guys didn't even realize, the ants have turned these hills at the back into an extra place for more tunnels on the back, and we can literally see the worm down under these tunnels as the ants get their protein from eating.
Fighting for his life.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing job, ants. But our final zombie apocalypse food is flightless fruit flies. But I'm gonna be dumping so many on the ants, so it's like a proper zombie apocalypse movie with how many zombies there are, even though, yeah, these aren't zombies.
Yeah, these are flightless fruit flies, and if you didn't already know what they are, well, they're flies that can't fly. It's always so funny to me to say this in videos.
So stupid. So fucking stupid. Why do they exist? Why do they exist? They're a fly, but they can't fly. Why are they called flies?
Because seriously, like, how are you a fly that can't fly? Come on.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's getting a like. Yup.
Okay, anyways, I got about 100 of these flies, as you can see. So, let's dump this zombie apocalypse
Bro, they're like half the size of the ant. They're cooked.
these ants. Oh, yeah.
Now, as you can probably imagine, dumping this much prey on the ants activates their predator instincts a lot. Because instantly, so many of the ants started to become way more frantic. They started to run around like crazy to try and catch these little flies. Now, I mean, it's pretty obvious the ants aren't going to struggle with eating these flies because they're literally so much smaller. And quickly, I started to notice lots of the ants with these little flies in their mandibles. Yeah, I bet these are tasty.
Well, ants, you've literally survived floods, earthquakes, and so much more. So I'm gonna move these guys back to their proper nest where it has all the right stuff. But quickly, I have amazing news for those of you who love the channel.
W fucking video. Sub to Terror Green, little shout. Daryl for the sub, big thank you for the thread. Have you seen the videos where they just make animals want to be on, like, Scorpion's Tarantula? Yeah. Smoke, thank you for the sub. Rory DTB for the sub. Ashton, thank you for the thread. Started by Sober Journey. Put down cocaine over a year ago. That's awesome. After over a year, and I'm 2 weeks clean. Your content alone is helping more than I'd realize. Thank you for the kind words. Stay sober, chat. W fucking chatter. And good luck on your sober journey. Twitch and Smoke, thank you for the sub. Joe Rose and N, thank you for the sub. Buddy Pob, Bush Clip, and Blah, thank you for the sub. Dead Bus, Gen or Jen. Leo, him, and Dan for the sub. Alex for the sub. Gunna, thank you for the three. I know you hate when people send bits when you're trying to lock it. I want to say love everything you do. We need another drunk stream. Thank you for the three. Dan and Alex for the sub. Sen for the sub. Some point, not today. YXL and Smoke, thank you for the sub. Morse, It's, and Mr. for the sub. Leo, Horse, Meow, and Pez, thank you for the sub. Twitch for the sub. All right, next video. We got 3 more, and then we're going to hop on Rocket League, probably practice for a little bit before the tourney. Gifted for the sub. Raccoon for the sub. I don't even know the bracket, if I'm being honest. Do you guys know who we're not fighting? Do you guys know who we're going against first? Or no? Ron and Lacey? Are we sure? Are they good? Aren't you with Jinxie? Yeah. It's me and Jinxie, and there's 7 other teams, I think. And I think it's best of 3s. And it's 1 by 1. So we are not all going at the same time. Like, if we go first, we go, and then we watch, what, 3 matches, and then we go again, and then we would watch, like, 2 matches. Then we would go again. Ron and Lacey are the worst seed. Are they really? I see Ginge is already practicing.
Okay, sir. Let's get it boxed off.
Is Marlon? Because I think Marlon's his teammate. No, I don't think anybody is on yet. All right. Lock back in, chat. Next video. Sep and RMN, thank you for the sub. Equal and Shadow for the sub. Gifted for the sub. Arky and Yugi. We're playing Arky and Yugi, or we're playing Ron and Lacey? Have you seen Jinxie's eyebrows? Yeah, he shaved his whole head. And his eyebrows. Why did he do that? Because he lost his speed? What was Speed's wager? Or was he also going to shave his eyebrows if he lost? Speed said he wasn't even going to do it? Bro. If he lost, he wouldn't have done it. Well, hasn't Jinxie shaved his eyebrows multiple times? Or he shaves his head a lot. I don't know if he's ever shaved his eyebrows. I know Steak does all the time. Press, thank you for the 3. Jinxie's played 3 tournaments with XQC and Sketch last night. They got first rounded every time. My hopes are high for you this tournament. Wait, Jinxie played 3 tournaments with XQC and Sketch last night. They got first rounded every time. So they got mauled. Jonah, thank you for the 5. How was your Valentine's Day? Good. It was my dad's birthday. He passed away 2 years ago. Rip in the chat. I'm sorry for your loss, man. I hope you're all right. Say thank you for the sub. Arman for the sub. All right, lock in. Next video, chat. Evil human experiments that actually happened. Visual venture video. Lock in.
The CIA knew that it was breaking, every moral, ethical, and legal law in the books to do these experiments.
But most...
Yeah, it was I feel like the big 3 are World War II Germany, World War II Japan, and then like 1990 to 2008 CIA. Did like the worst experiments on people. Stanford prison experiment. I would not say the Stanford prison experiment is on par with like the CIA literally just drugging people and seeing like the limits of the human body with like the torture program. Like, yeah, I think the Stanford prison experiment wasn't actually meant to like be that bad from the start. And it did get bad, but not to the extent of like, yeah, Nazi doctors literally like trying to like see if the brains of twins could be switched or whatever weird shit they did. Giving people like just deadly diseases and seeing how they'd survive.
See an aspect of the whole...
The CIA thought LSD was such a powerful drug it could be used for mind control. They thought there was a time where the CIA was working on like what a so-called truth serum would be. And so they would two American citizens, John Kiriakou talks about this, and I love watching his clips, but he said they would go around and pick up guys that were trying to get like prostitutes in like San Fran, and then they would drug them. They would like bring them to this area, drug them, and then try and get them to like tell them their darkest secrets or something. I'm like, imagine being a regular guy. Well, not regular guy, you're picking up a prostitute, but still. Imagine being a guy in San Fran. You're like thinking you're going to get laid, pay $100 to like some lady. And then you get fucking dosed with like high levels of acid and just interrogated to see like what you would spill. Like, oh my God. And they would put hummus up their ass. Yeah, they would do that.
Story was that the final results for this cruel test were not even noteworthy.
He says he's not going to go on. Please continue. He says he doesn't want to go on. We must continue.
Today, experiments have strict rules to protect people, but that wasn't always the case. In the past, researchers experimented on people without considering the consequences, and the damage often lasted a lifetime. In this video, we'll explore evil human experiments that—
Well, and then the most fuck shit too is they do all that, and it's so fucked up. And they're doing it for research. And then to hide it, they fucking got rid of like 90% of the, you know, papers on a lot of the shit they did. So all of it was for nothing, right? I'm not saying it was justified at all, but like, you already did it. You might as well keep the information you gathered, but they destroyed it because they didn't want to get in trouble. So it's like, all right, well, now we just did that for actually no reason.
Actually happened, starting with the unsettling cases and ending with the most horrifying.
Unit 731, well, the U.S. also bought a lot of that information from the Japanese, from what they learned. So
it is the new year, guys, and I want to encourage you guys to be the best version of yourselves that you can be. And it would mean the world if you subscribe, and I promise to do my best to make the best videos I possibly can for you. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome. MK Ultra. For years, the MK Ultra experiment sounded like a made-up story. Many believed it was simply too cruel to be real. But in 1973, the truth came out. Declassified CIA files confirmed that MK Ultra actually happened, and it involved illegal human experiments.
It was the most secret program ever conducted by the CIA in the United States.
But the worst part was not how extreme the experiments were. It was that people were forced to take part in it. MK Ultra officially began in 1953. At that time, the CIA believed other countries were developing brainwashing and mind control techniques. But there was no evidence to confirm this. But the agency didn't want to fall behind, so they launched MK Ultra. The goal was clear: find ways to erase the memory and then control the mind.
Can we actually like control a person?
And how do you even start doing that? Like it's like on some serial killer level shit. Like trying to actually drug people and just test different substances that are going to like permanently fuck people up.
Personality, can we make them behave in certain ways, make them do something?
MK Ultra quickly grew into a massive operation. It included more than 150 separate projects. These projects—
literally what Jeffrey Dahmer was doing. Actually, though. When did Jeffrey Dahmer do all that stuff, though? I think it was after MK Ultra. If it started in the 50s. Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer in what, like the 70s or the 80s?
Projects took place in universities, hospitals, and even in public. And some of the methods were so inappropriate that keeping this a secret became necessary.
You know, the CIA knew that it was breaking, you know, every moral, ethical, and legal law in the books to do these experiments.
One of the CIA's main tools was mind-altering drugs. Researchers wanted to know whether dosing people made them easier to control.
Even people in the public were given drugs without their awareness or consent.
Yeah, what was that one story? I think they did it to a town in like France or some shit where they like drugged the bread and the whole town lost it. Where did the CIA drug the bread? Yeah, Pont Saint-Esprit, France. In August of 1951, the CIA drugged 250 people with, like, they drugged the food. causing hallucinations and 7 deaths. Theories suggesting CIA involvement. It was definitely the CIA. It is 100%. Oh my God.
And experimented upon.
But secretly dosing people sometimes ended in disaster. Frank Olson's story is a perfect example. Olson was a scientist working with US intelligence. In 1953, he attended a meeting with colleagues. During that meeting, the CIA spiked Olson's drink with a truth serum. He had no idea. Agents stood nearby and watched how it affected him. When the substance took effect, Olson became emotionally unstable. A witness described him as,
I don't want to say that you would know. I know this is like the 50s too, and people didn't have as much knowledge on like what being under like a hallucinogenic substance would feel like. But like outside of being like straight up roofied and like given Rufinol where you like actually like start to lose consciousness and memory, if I'm sober and you give me a glass of water with acid in it, I'm gonna know that I'm tripping, okay? Like, it's not going to be a truth serum because I'm going to be like, wow, I feel really fucking weird now. You drugged me. You're not going to know what you're on, but you're going to be like, I'm definitely not sober.
disoriented. The effect lasted for days. 1 week later, Olson was staying at a hotel. He suddenly woke up in the middle of the night and ran around the room in his underwear. Then he fell from a hotel window. He didn't survive. But Olson wasn't the only victim of MK-Ultra. Many MK-Ultra experiments took place in hospitals and psych wards.
However, some of the most damaging experiments occurred at the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal, Canada.
The patients were already vulnerable. Instead of receiving proper care, they were treated like guinea pigs. MK-Ultra doctors wanted to learn how to erase memories.
And he thought that if you could bring a person back down to a blank slate, remove all the environmental inputs that have been put into them, and then you can build them back up in your image into whatever you want them to be.
The methods used were too extreme.
Yeah, but I feel like that's not even like not only not feasibly possible. Like, how would you, if you were to mind wipe like a 35-year-old man, how are you going, what are you erasing? How are you targeting specific memories? Because are you mind wiping everything they've ever known? Like, are you fully restarting, like, they don't even know how to speak? Like, what? Yeah, Big Chunky, I know his mind, but I'm saying, like, are you removing memories or are you removing functional capabilities as well? Because if you're removing just, are you trying to get rid of like, okay, what their name is, their childhood, all this, and then they're going to be like a blank slate that still understands what math is in society, but they don't know where they are or who they are? Because like, that's what you would want, right? If you were to mind wipe somebody to try and create them into some weird like sleeper, you know, agent that you can form to whatever you want, you would want them to still be functionally capable in a way that they still understand English and they still know what math is and they still know how to drive a car. They just don't know who they are, where they came from, how they got there. Yeah, like literally like, yeah, Bucky. Like some shit out of Marvel.
Extreme for me to describe. Many patients didn't understand what was happening. That made it nearly impossible for them to refuse. By the time patients were discharged, they were seriously affected.
He never came out the same. He had a blank look in his eye. He didn't know who we were. He didn't know we were his daughters.
MK-Ultra experiments also took place in prisons. Inmates were given substances and the reactions were closely monitored. The program continued for nearly 10 years, and so many of the things they did were illegal.
They were also experimenting with aerosol LSD. Like, can we disperse it into a crowd? Can we...
Holy fuck.
Disperse it over a city? What does it do in water supplies? And just some insane stuff.
Well, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, there's people, when you willingly want to take LSD, there's people that have great trips and there's people that have bad trips. But I don't see a world where you dosed somebody with LSD without their knowledge and anything good happens. Like, they're like, okay, to put it in perspective, I've taken mushrooms, right, multiple times. I've tripped, and I've had good trips, and I've had bad trips. And I'm not advocating for mushroom usage. I don't think you should do it. You know, I think there is medicinal purposes, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into that. Okay, it's a conversation for another day. Besides that, if you gave me psilocybin and didn't tell me, I'm guaranteed tweaking. Guaranteed. I'm going to know that I'm tripping, but I'm going to go, what the fuck? Like, because you're just going to be in such a bad mindset.
1963, the CIA officially...
What's LSD? Acid, LSD, created in the 40s? Really popular in the 60s. A lot of high schoolers used to take acid. Now, like, none do. What is it, like lysergic something? I don't know what it actually stands for. It's a hallucinogen. Very low dosage. You're not taking like grams. You're taking like micrograms. Yeah, lysergic acid. But what is the D in lysergic? What is the D? I don't know. Dithalamine. What does LSD stand for? Yeah, lysergic acid dithalamide. But it makes you trip out, and it lasts longer than psilocybin. Like, if you're on weed, if you're on THC, you're on an edible, you're high for 4 or 6 hours. If you're on mushrooms, you're probably high 6 to 8. If you're on acid, you could be high for like 12, 15. You're on really high dosage. Some people like Permatrep, but that's its own conversation.
Officially ended MK Ultra. This was the explanation recorded inside the CIA director's office.
His office reported the concepts involved in...
What's psilocybin like? I mean, you just hallucinate. It's like a lot of people watch videos and it's like, oh, this is exactly what tripping's like. Like, bro. And then I see some cornball shit, bro, where they're like, dude, I want to take mushrooms so bad, man. It's like, oh, you just see cool shit. I'm like, yeah, bro, but keep in mind, it's in your fucking eyes, bro. Like, it's not like watching a TV screen of shit moving weird. Shit's just moving weird. You're tripping, right? Stuff's warping. You're hearing things. When you close your eyes, you're seeing things. Your mind races, and it feels like you're not controlling it, right? Like you're hallucinating. You're taking bug poison, effectively.
Manipulating human behavior are found by many people, both within and outside the agency, to be distasteful and unethical.
After the program ended, the CIA director ordered most MK Ultra files destroyed. The goal was to keep the experiments hidden, but that plan failed a few years.
Have you tried dipahydramine? Isn't that like Benadryl? What the fuck is that? Diphenhydramine? Yeah, bro. I also gotta say, that's the most degenerative thing ever. Motherfuckers that take like 20 Benadryl and then see the Hat Man. That's dying. That's dying. No.
Years after it ended.
Bro called it by its medical term. Have you ever taken Benadryl? Yeah, I've taken Benadryl, not in high doses.
A reporter found out.
Don't. Kratom? I've taken Kratom. I have a whole video on all the fucking things I've done.
About the program and blew the whistle.
In 1974, Seymour Hersh exposed the MKUltra program when he wrote about it for the New York Times.
The article caused public outrage. Soon after, Congress launched an investigation. The CIA was forced to admit the truth.
During those hearings, the CIA finally admitted that this program existed. They admitted that it was probably not the right thing to do, but they feigned innocence.
By then, most of the records were destroyed. That meant the full scope of MKUltra would never be known, and victims were left without justice. Up next is an experiment that intentionally instilled fear in people. The Landis Facial Expression Experiment. In 1924, psychologist Carney Landis began a study on human reactions.
I don't think I've ever heard this one. Landis Facial Expression Experiment?
He wanted to know if everyone makes the same face when they feel the same emotion, like fear, disgust, and so on. I mean, it was a reasonable question, but in trying to find the answer...
Bro, why is somebody typing, why is it live? Why is it streaming? Why are you calling me it, dick?
Landis created one of the most horrifying experiments ever, and those who suffered most were his test subjects. Landis recruited young college students for the study. On paper, the plan was simple. He was going to trigger emotions like disgust and joy and capture them on camera.
So he needs to get you to feel emotions to get a picture of your face.
The first thing he did was...
This doesn't seem that fucked up, though, on surface level. Just trying to get, like, what's, like, a sour face is like, or, like, sad or happy. Like, how does this go bad? Like, he starts, like, hurting people?
Paint thick black lines across each volunteer's face. He said the markings would help track facial expressions in photos. Next, he mounted a camera on the wall. It was positioned to capture everything. At this point, it still looked like a normal psychology study, but things were about to get dark. Landis wanted to see the face people made when they felt uncomfortable. To trigger that reaction, he showed volunteers a set of unsettling images.
Then he shows you medical photos of people with horrendous skin conditions.
The volunteers were clearly distressed, and the camera recorded every reaction. Next, Landis moved on to fear.
Then he goes behind a curtain and sets off a firecracker to capture on film the exact moment of your fright.
He didn't just use firecrackers. Landis also fired a weapon close to the volunteers. Once again, his goal was to capture the exact moment of their fright. Then the experiment escalated. Landis told the volunteers to close their eyes and stick their hands into a metal bucket. Inside, they felt something slimy. The bucket was full of live frogs, kicking and squirming. Landis recorded their expressions, but he wasn't finished. He instructed them to search the bottom of the bucket for an object.
So after searching...
Can't they just say, like, are they required to do this? I feel like at some point a volunteer would be like, no. Like, second bro fires a gun off in the room, I'm out.
Through all these frogs for some time, finally, the participant found their surprise.
Their hands touched a live electrical coil. An electrical shock ripped through their bodies.
So the participants were also getting shocked by that time. And that time, they were facial expressions were also recorded.
Still, Landis...
And why are we doing this? Like, what is this bettering in science? Like, what is learning the human facial expressions gaining?
Wasn't satisfied. He wanted stronger reactions. Landis brought out a small mouse. It
Oh my god, and fucking kills it.
was alive. Then he ordered each volunteer to end the mouse.
And if they didn't, he would do it for them in front of them while they watched.
Almost everyone asked Landis if he was joking. They quickly realized he wasn't. Landis wanted to take a photo of their faces as they carried out the act. Many volunteers refused at first, but Landis pressured them. One by one, most of them gave in. About 1/3 refused to do it themselves, but Landis didn't let them off the hook. Landis did it himself. He made them watch. The camera clicked again and again. The experiment was over. Now it was time to assess the results. After triggering all of these emotions, Landis reviewed the photos, and he found no clear pattern. There was no typical facial expression for any emotion. Fear, disgust, and shock looked different from person to person. In fact,
you had to fucking kill a mouse in front of people and electrocute them and shoot a gun near them to figure that one out? I mean, this guy's an idiot. This guy's... I could have told you that. I could have told you that from just watching people on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, what smiling looks like for some people is different for others.
smiling was the most common reaction, even during unpleasant experiences. When Landis published his findings, many people criticized how the volunteers were treated. The part involving the mouse caused the most outrage. That's why today, the Landis facial expression experiment is remembered for its cruelty, not its science. Up next is an experiment that had lasting consequences on a child. The Little Albert experiment. Fear is a survival tool.
I'm shocked at how I haven't heard of, like, I heard of the first one, that was it.
It warns us when danger is near.
Like, he's going through some fucking niche experiments I've never heard of. Albert?
The Little Albert experiment.
Little Albert.
Fear is a survival tool. It warns us when danger is near. But for decades, psychologists argued about where fear comes from. Are we born with it, or does the world teach us what to fear? In 1920, two researchers decided to stop debating and find out for themselves. They wanted to train someone to fear something specific, even if that thing was harmless. Before the experiment could begin, they ran into a major issue. They couldn't use adults. Adults already have memories and life experiences, so they know what's scary and what isn't. The researchers needed someone with no sense of what could be scary. Ideally, they needed a baby. The researchers eventually found a baby in the hospital where they worked.
It is weird how, like, young infants don't fear, like, scary masks because they still don't have a full recognition of what, like, a normal human looks like. And then after a while, right, like when they're like 3 or 4 or whatever, like, clown masks and shit are terrifying.
His mother was a nurse.
Because they know it's normal. Somebody said it's glitching. Is the stream glitching, chat? I think it's fine.
the same hospital. The baby's real name was never recorded. In the study, he was called Albert B. Albert was only 9 months old. The researchers planned to teach him fear. To do this, they used a method called classical conditioning. Here's the concept. If you pair something harmless with something frightening, the brain may link the two. If you repeat that pairing enough times, the brain learns a new rule. This object means danger. The researchers decided to test this idea on little Albert. They began by showing him a white lab rat. Albert showed no fear. He tried to touch the rat. Next, they showed him a rabbit, a dog, and a monkey. None of the animals frightened him.
First, as you see here, the investigators demonstrated that prior to conditioning, little Albert had no fears of any animals.
At that point, the scientists needed a way to trigger fear. They struck a steel bar using a hammer. The noise startled Albert and he burst into tears.
I mean, but do we really need to do an experiment on Albert to know this? I mean, like, you could just know that through, like, regular dog conditioning. Like, if every time you want, like, for example, every time you need to take your dog out, right, when they're a puppy, you ring a bell by the door, right? You take your dog out, ring a bell. Take your dog out, ring a bell. Now the dog associates having to piss or shit with the bell, so it rings the bell when it has to go poop. In the same sense, you're going to link two things. That's just any animal brain is going to do that. Like, you didn't need to do this to figure that out.
Now they knew what made him scared. The researchers showed Albert.
Yeah, Pavlov dogs already proved that. That's what I'm saying. But, like, why are we doing this then? Why are we now showing the kid a rat and fucking striking a drum or a bar or something to scare him?
The rat again. He smiled and reached for it just like before. At that exact moment, they made the loud noise again.
In the conditioning phase of the study, which was not filmed, the investigators struck a steel bar with a hammer whenever Albert reached for a rat.
Albert heard the noise and cried. To strengthen the connection, they repeated the process. After several rounds, the scientists finally got the result they wanted. Albert didn't need to hear the noise anymore. Seeing the rat alone made him cry.
The investigators believed that the child's reaction during this trial demonstrated his newly acquired fear of white rat.
They successfully taught a baby to fear something specific, but the experiment wasn't over yet. The researchers wanted to see if Albert's fear would transfer to similar objects. So they placed a rabbit in front of Albert. It was white and furry, just like the rat. Albert cried. Next, they brought in a dog and a monkey. He cried again. It seemed Albert was scared of anything soft, white, or furry. They even showed him a Santa Claus beard, and he burst into tears. The researchers planned to remove the fear later, but they never got the chance. Albert's mother suddenly left the hospital with her child. Maybe she realized something was wrong. No one knows for sure. What we do know is this: Albert never received treatment to reverse the fear. For decades, Albert's identity remained a mystery. Researchers only knew he was born around 1919. Finally, in 2014, investigators believed they finally identified him. They concluded that he was a man named Albert Barger. They wanted to interview him, but they couldn't. Albert already passed away at the age of 87. Instead, they spoke with his family. They described Albert as gentle and calm, but there was something strange about him. Albert couldn't stand being around animals. It was so bad that family members had to keep their dogs in a separate room when he visited. If Albert Barger was—
Wow, they really, after one day of doing this, or like 2 days of doing this, it like permanently fucked him up?
really little Albert, it's possible that the fear from the experiment never faded. The little Albert experiment showed that fear can be learned through classical conditioning, but the fact that they used—
Do you think there's any way that could have been reversed, though? Like, through... Like, I think what they would have had to do is, like, the mom would have had to, like, slowly, immediately try to reintroduce animals. Like, if she just left and then went on about her day and kept raising her kid, yeah, like an exposure therapy. But, like, immediately.
The baby was just wrong. This next case answered the question, how easily can you make a good person do bad things? The Milgram shock experiment. Most people believe
I've heard of this one.
They are good. In the early 1960s, psychologist Stanley Milgram decided to test that belief.
Stanley Milgram was interested in the psychology of obedience.
Milgram designed an experiment to answer one dark question. Can a good person be pressured into doing something evil simply because their leader or boss orders them to? Milgram's question was inspired by the events of World War II. After the war, many people involved in horrific crimes were put on trial. Almost all of them gave the same excuse. volunteers. They were just following orders. As a psychologist, Milgram found this blind obedience deeply troubling. He wanted to know if ordinary Americans could also be pressured to hurt others.
He decided to see how subjects would react when a researcher pushed them to do things that went against their morals.
The first step was selecting
But
volunteers.
they didn't actually shock people in this experiment, didn't they? Like, you could say psychologically this is fucked up, but they didn't actually make people shock somebody else. They would press the button, and then somebody would fake scream in the back and be like, ah! And then they'd do 100 volts. Ah! They'd fucking yell. And then eventually, like, if it got to a high point, like, they wouldn't respond or something.
For his experiment. He put out an ad offering $4 for 1 hour of their time. But Milgram turned away anyone with a violent
What year?
history or criminal record. He wanted everyday people who knew right from wrong. Once the volunteers were selected, the experiment began. Milgram conducted the study at Yale University.
$4. What year was this? $4. It was after World War II, so it's like at least, it's probably the 50s. So it's the 70s. When was the Milgram experiment? 1961. $4 in 1961 today. 43 bucks.
University. But he lied to the volunteers about the purpose of the experiment.
Volunteers were told they were taking part in scientific research to improve memory.
Each volunteer sat at a desk with a machine in front of them. That machine delivers a shock. Wires connected the machine to a chair in the next room. Each volunteer watched as another man was strapped into the chair. Electrodes were attached to his body. Then a barrier was placed between them. From that moment on, the volunteer could not see the person in the electric chair. The instructions were straightforward. The volunteer would ask a question. The man in the chair would answer. If the answer was wrong, the volunteer pressed a switch and delivered an electric shock.
You're going to read these words out and see if he can remember them. And if he gets it wrong, you hit this button and deliver a shock.
But the shocks weren't all the same.
He was told to increase the voltage with each wrong answer.
That was the task. Press a button and shock another person for making a mistake. Milgram wanted to see how far volunteers would go before they refused.
Cloud, horse, rock, house. Answer. Wrong.
Each shock triggered a reaction from the man in the chair.
Answer. Wrong. 150 volts.
However,
150 volts? Wouldn't that fucking kill you? How many volts? How many volts kills someone? Above 50 volts is considered dangerous.
there was one more thing the volunteer didn't know. The man in the chair was an actor. He wasn't actually being shocked. His reactions were fake. As the experiment continued, the actor yelled to stop.
Experiment, that's all. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, please. I refuse to go on. Let me out.
At this point, the volunteers hesitated.
He says he's not going to go on. Please continue. He says he doesn't want to go on. We must continue.
But the researchers insisted they continue.
The experiment requires you continue, teacher. Please continue.
And most volunteers did. They felt they were doing something wrong, but they kept pushing the button.
So the guy keeps getting it wrong, keeps getting it wrong. Around 250 volts, he's screaming.
Some volunteers strongly protested.
I'm not going to kill that man there. I mean, who's going to take the responsibility if anything happens to that gentleman? I'm responsible for anything that happens here. Continue, please.
Eventually, the man in the other room went silent.
I think something's happened to that fellow in there. I don't get no answer.
Oh my God, dude. You know how scary that is? You do the last shock and he just has no fucking response.
At that point, the experiment ended.
And now you just think he killed somebody?
Milgram published the results in 1963.
2/3 of volunteers were prepared to administer a potentially fatal electric shock when encouraged to do so.
In total, 65% of volunteers went all the way to the maximum 450 volts. That meant that if the shocks were real, they would have ended the person in the chair. Milgram's experiment proved something disturbing. People don't need to be evil to do harm. Sometimes they just have to be told to do it.
Decent American.
It's a fucked up experiment, but this is like one of the only ones where what was taken away from it is like, it explains a lot of like war, where one guy can make millions of people die by basically just commanding the people below them who command the people below them who command the people below them.
Citizens were as capable of committing acts against their conscience as the Germans had been under the Nazis.
This next case shows how you can cause permanent damage.
When's the tournament? 6.
To someone
EST.
By using only words. The Monster Study. What could make an experiment so disturbing that people called it the Monster Study? The study was created by Wendell Johnson. He was a respected professor at the University of Iowa. Despite his success, he lived with a deep personal struggle. Johnson stuttered a lot. Stuttering is a speech impediment that disrupts the normal flow of speaking. Back in the 1930s, doctors believed stuttering was caused by a biological defect. In other words, stutterers were simply born that way. But Johnson had a different theory based on his personal experience.
You know what fascinates me is Tourette's. I always I've seen people with Tourette's. I've never actually met somebody with Tourette's. I've always wanted to know, like, how that works. You know, like, I know this, like, the science behind it, but I'm saying, Jinxie has Tourette's? Jinxie has Tourette's? He has, like, smaller tics, though. Really? What, where he blinks? Yeah, like this? I thought he just does that. I'm more so talking about people with Tourette's that outburst physically. You know what I mean? Like people that curse, like they just have like things they say. Like usually they'll have like a set few that kind of just like outbursts and then like maybe they change over time. I'm just like, how does that work? Like your brain just immediately triggers you to do it unconsciously. It makes more sense like with the eyes like blinking because it's like a physical just twitch almost versus something that's like verbally being like a vocal stem.
Apparently, he had spoken normally his whole life until the age of about 5 or 6.
I gotta ask Jinxie about that.
When a teacher told his
Does he talk about that?
Parents that he was starting to exhibit a bit of a stutter.
That comment from his teacher was a trigger. Johnson became anxious about speaking.
He coughs.
Over time, he actually...
I've never noticed. See, that's what's so... I've never... Like, and I've played games with him, and I watched Jinxie. I've just never... I've noticed the blinking, but I thought that's just him blinking.
Developed a stutter.
Looking back, he concluded that it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Had he not been...
Talk to Lacey about it. Does Lacey have Tourette's?
So worried about not developing a stutter and so obsessed over his speech, he never would have become a stutterer.
Well, yeah, okay, sorry. We're getting really sidetracked. The coughing I also didn't notice because when I've been playing with him recently, he had the flu. So I was like, oh, you're just sick.
Stutter.
Looking back, he concluded that it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Had he not been so worried about not developing a stutter and so obsessed over his speech, he never would have become a stutterer.
Johnson wanted to prove that stuttering was caused by negative feedback, not biology. To do this, he needed kids he could study without interference. In 1939, Johnson walked into an orphanage and told the staff a lie. He said he wanted to give the children speech therapy. The staff agreed, thinking Johnson was there to help. Johnson ran the study with his graduate student Mary Tudor. Together, they selected 22 kids. Some were stutterers, others were not. The researchers divided them into 4 groups. The first group was made up of kids who already stuttered. The goal was to help them feel calm so that their stuttering stopped, so the researchers praised them all the time. Everyone in the second group was also a stutterer. In this case, the researchers wanted them to feel anxious so their stutter would worsen, therefore they were criticized constantly. The third group was full of children who spoke normally. They were praised and encouraged to keep speaking just the way they were. Then there was the final group. These children spoke perfectly before the
Oh my god, and they wanted to give them a stutter?
Study, but the researchers wanted to make them start stuttering. To achieve that, they were constantly criticized. They were accused of stuttering even when their words were clear.
They were told, you must try to stop yourself immediately. Use your willpower. Do anything to keep from stuttering. Don't ever speak unless you can do it right.
After that, the researchers...
Holy shit.
Recorded what happened to each group. The 2 groups that received negative feedback were deeply affected. The children who already stuttered became more anxious, and just like Johnson predicted, their stuttering got worse. But what about those the researchers were trying to turn into stutterers? Well, that didn't work. The criticism did not make them suddenly start stuttering. However, it shattered their self-confidence.
Every child in this group began to struggle in school. Some of them refused to talk, even to their friends.
One was so distressed that she ran away
literally just giving people anxiety.
from the orphanage. This clip sums it up well.
The children who were given negative feedback became more withdrawn, self-conscious, and frustrated, whether or not they actually had a stutter to begin with.
When Johnson shared the results with his colleagues, they were horrified. They warned him that publishing the study could destroy his career. According to reports, they were the ones who nicknamed it the monster study. Johnson never published the study. He hid the documents and hoped his actions would stay buried.
The children also weren't debriefed after the project was over, and
they just left? They didn't go, hey, you were a part of an experiment, by the way, to try and, like, somewhat mend the fucking anxiety that they gave them. They just left. They were just like, all right, well, we couldn't help you.
There was no real follow-up on how they may have been affected by the study long-term.
When Johnson passed away, he was praised as a respected professor. At that point, no one knew about the orphans, but that changed in 2001. A reporter uncovered records of the monster experiment. When the story became public, people were outraged. Some of the kids from the experiment were still alive. They were now in their 80s. Most claimed they struggled with anxiety and shame. The survivors sued the state of Iowa, which is where the study took place. In 2007, the state paid almost $1 million in compensation. There was no debate. The monster experiment should have never happened. This next experiment got so destructive it had to be stopped early. The Stanford prison experiment.
Somebody said, wait, this happened to Jinxie. Bro, you're a dumbass. This happened in, like, the fucking 30s, bro. There was just a picture of kids in black and white from, like, almost 100 years ago.
This experiment was designed to create an atmosphere of oppression.
I'm sorry, that was rude. I was just a stupid... You know how they say there's no stupid questions?
The man behind it was psychologist Philip Zimbardo. For years, Zimbardo studied how people behave in prisons, the military, and even offices. In each place, he noticed the same pattern. People in power often treated others badly. Over
time, the 20s, not 30s. Almost 100 years. Almost. Almost. Keyword. Almost. Lock in.
For years, Zimbardo studied how people behave in prisons, the military, and even offices. In each place, he noticed the same pattern. People in power often treated others badly. Over time, Zimbardo formed a theory. People didn't commit cruel acts because they were born evil. They did them because the situation allowed it. Simply put, power can bring out the worst in people, but it was only a theory.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to say this is also one that, you probably could have known the result beforehand, but I think like a lot of philosophers talk about this shit too, where it's like a lot of religions and a lot of just like historical proceedings in general and how everybody's desires root in power. Not everyone's, but most things that people want result or root in power. If you want money, money is power. If you want, you know, to be athletic, athleticism is power. If you want this, like, everything that you go to is some level of power or, like, power trip in some way that people try to achieve.
To test it, he needed to create an environment where power could be abused. That idea became the Stanford prison experiment. Zimbardo built a makeshift prison in the basement of a college building. Cameras were installed to record everything that happened. He added cells, a prison...
Explain Beyond Good and Evil. Well, Beyond Good and Evil talks about that, but not. That's a different sense of like morality, or just morals in general. But I feel like being a bad person could actually give people power in a way. What do you mean? I don't know. It depends. It depends on the individual and how much somebody is obsessed with it. But like most people's passions in general root in some level of power over another. Like. Even an obsession with competition, right? Like, everybody loves competing. Like, we're literally competing later. Like, you like winning because winning gives you power. Like, having strengths over other people, in example, Joe, having strengths over other people in minute situations is, like, driven from your innate need to have power.
Yard and a guard station. The goal was to make the prison feel real enough to shape behavior. Next, he selected 24
power, honestly, power and control, because control is power. And that's a big criticism I have of a lot of organized religions proceedings and how like a lot of, not every, obviously, like church or pastor or individual is doing something wrong, but a lot of these things, like people end up doing fucked up shit because like a lot of stuff in belief sets in general, something that might seem peaceful, is rooted in control, and control is power.
College students to take part in the 2-week experiment. Zimbardo split them up into 2 groups. One group became guards, the other became prisoners. To help the guards feel powerful, Zimbardo gave them whistles, batons, and mirrored sunglasses. The sunglasses hid the guards' eyes, making it easier to act without empathy. Zimbardo never told the guards to be cruel or misuse their power. He simply gave them authority and watched what happened. The prisoners, on the other hand, were stripped of anything personal. They wore identical clothing that erased their individuality. Their names were replaced with ID numbers,
so that they would begin to think of themselves anonymously as numbers and no longer as people with names and identities.
From the start, the imbalance was clear. On the first day, the guards were polite and careful. They still saw the prisoners as fellow students.
This is unbelievable. They took my clothes.
Hands off the door.
Soon, the mood began to shift.
On day 2, there was a very sharp change in the whole nature of what was happening in that prison.
The guards started raising their voices. Guards punished prisoners for minor mistakes. Their authority was settling in.
The guards then began to escalate their use of power. Some of them had prisoners clean out toilet bowls with their bare hands.
If a prisoner resisted, they were locked in a small closet. This was their version of solitary confinement. Within the first 4 days, 3 prisoners were so affected that they were released. By the 5th day, the remaining prisoners looked exhausted. When they lined up for inspection, they seemed scared.
You see how he did that, boys?
Yes, sir, Mr. Craig.
The guards acted differently too. They were now tyrannical. It seemed like they forgot that they were just students in an experiment. The situation was out of control. It was just a matter of time before someone got hurt.
And at that point, we said, enough, we have to end this.
The experiment was scheduled to last 14 days, but Zimbardo shut it down on the 6th day. In 1972, Zimbardo talked about his
Dude, and you wonder how bad it would have gotten. There's a whole movie on that, too, and how, like, some of them literally tried to escape. Like, they genuinely treated it like it was prison.
Experiment at conferences. He also released a film showing...
No offense, Joe. How are you reacting? Seems like you're just watching. I literally had a chatter 3 minutes ago, and I didn't read their chat. Bitch at me to stop pausing and inputting my own thoughts. I don't want to say that you're just utterly wrong, but you're wrong in the sense that the majority of reacts that I do, edited down on YouTube, are over twice the length of the original video that I'm watching. Like if I'm tuning into a 27-minute video, right, the average length of a video that I would post would be like over 50 minutes. Like I'm not just sitting here watching. That I literally purposely try not to use videos that I don't commentate on, and I apologize when I don't. You know, and you've been following me for a while now. You're also a turbo spammer, man. I don't want to say you're a horrible chatter, but I'm like looking at your chats right now, and you literally just, for days straight, you typed my show is on, 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 LeBron. Have you seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Have you seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid? So no, I don't. I'm sorry that I didn't talk for, 2 minutes, but we're watching a half-hour-long video, I'm not going to butt in every 10 seconds for 30 minutes straight. It gets really annoying when I do that, and there are times when I do, but Hunter, yeah, man, I think I add enough. If you don't think I do, by all means, man, you could just tap out of the stream. You don't have to watch. It's entirely optional to be here. You could go watch the own video yourself. I shout out Visual Venture as well. I link the videos that they do in my bio. If anybody ever wants me to not react to what they're doing, I will remove it. Creators can copyright me, tell me to remove it. And they have on very few occasions. But there have been, 2-3 creators that have been like, hey, don't watch my shit. And I go, okay, man, I'm sorry. And I turn it off because I'm not here to just try and steal content. I'm here to try and add and transform it in some way that I think is meaningful. And some people will disagree and try to say that I'm just stealing views. I would argue that those are just views that I'm getting that they would never get to begin with, and I think I transfer an audience over in some way to the people that make these videos, right? I think a lot of people that watch me watch videos wouldn't watch the videos themselves unless I was commentating on them. The amount of people that tell me that I watch videos that they have no interest in, and the only reason they watch them is because I'm commentating on them is extraordinary, So I'm not trying to, just target you and be a dick, but that chat kind of pissed me off. because I don't think I steal content. I think there's many reactors and many commentators on YouTube that provide little to nothing to the content that they watch. I think I yap almost too much to a point where it actually annoys people and they don't watch me because I'm talking too much over the video. So, Hunter, I would say, you know, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to.
Real footage of what happened. Public reaction was intense. Some people refused to believe the results. They argued that Zimbardo unknowingly selected people who were predisposed to authoritarianism. But others believed the experiment proved Zimbardo's theory. Normal people can change when placed into powerful or powerless roles. Decades later, the Stanford prison experiment.
I think this is an extreme example as well. I think if you were to redo the Stanford prison experiment, I don't think in every situation the guards would become this weird, like, fear-mongering, power-wielding, like, dictators, you know? I think a lot of the time they would just treat it as, like, some stupid experiment. But I think it does show that most people in a position of power are more likely to abuse that power than not.
Is still debated. The consequences of this next experiment affected thousands of people and lasted for decades. Project 4.1.
Sway, thank you for the 5 gifted. Baldy and Artemis for the sub. Shout out for the sub. Bob, thank you for the 3. Shout out my Twitch and new creator. No. Hey, and Bosco, thank you for the sub. Perky and Coop, thank you for the sub. Game for the sub. McDonald, thank you for the 3. Literature for 2 years. Took an astral test. Got a top 5% of the country. That's awesome. 08, thank you for the sub. 39, thank you for the 3. I have Tourette's. It sucks. Confused the fuck out of me like I can't stop. However, there's periods of time where I have no Tourette's for months. Really? Like none. McDonald's for the sub. Willow, thank you for the 3. Did you know there's a catcher on the Pittsburgh Pirates with the same name as you? Yeah. Dark and Anon for the sub. Isaac Diddy for the sub. Let's thank you for the sub. Face, thank you for the 3. Counting to 100,001. Try to beat Mr. Beast. No. RG for the sub. XJ, thank you for the sub. Coco, thank you for the 5. Gifted Xanthra and Ghoul, thank you for the sub. I'm and Joe Mama, thank you for the 3. Max, thank you for the 3. Dark Fish Pro in Ocean and Torin, thank you for the 3. What's your favorite and least favorite meme about yourself? Don't really have a favorite or least favorite meme. Yeah, maybe least favorite. Probably the Hills. Will and Burger for the sub. Fishy for the sub. Actually, no, the dead one. It's kind of cringe. Burger and Tosa for the sub. Pyro and Ty, thank you for the sub. Ruko, hello and Bob, thank you for the sub. Kira, thank you for the 5 gifted. DJ and Asa for the sub. Kira, thank you for the 1,000 buddies. You forgot to read my donut authority. Thank you for the 3. Are you coming back to Iceland? Don't know. Current for the sub. Avo, I'm and Queen, thank you for the sub. Kiro, thank you for the 10K biddies. I'm sorry I haven't been reading bits, brother. I have not been reading donos. Thank you for the fucking 10K biddies. If you listened to Without You by Kevin G, I have not. Thank you for the fucking biddies, though. Cost, thank you for the sub. Azu, thank you for the sub. Jackson Noah for the sub. Maz and Emmanuel for the sub. Sketty, thank you for the 3. Imagine you're being tortured for info. You don't even have to give it the back guy who goes, go get the hummus. Jonah, thank you for the 3. Have you watched American Dad? Yes. Gasser, thank you for the sub. Kira, thank you for the sub. Kira, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. I have not seen Without You by Kevin G. Pistachio for the sub. Press, thank you for the 3. Tay, Zark, D, Royal, and Poopy for the sub. Jesus. When did Kevin G start making music? Has Kevin G always made music? C and Taste for the sub.
Project 4.1 was officially described
All right, lock in.
as a medical study. Scientists wanted to understand how radiation affects the human body, but this experiment was never planned in advance. It began because of a disaster. In the early 1940s, the US set out to build the most powerful weapon ever created, a nuclear bomb. But there was only one way to know if they were on the right track. They needed to test the nukes they were making. Testing meant detonation. The military needed a remote location to blow stuff up without drawing attention. They chose the Marshall Islands in the Pacific Ocean.
The Marshall Islands is mostly made up of atolls, which are ring-shaped coral reefs with a lagoon in the middle.
But those islands weren't empty. People lived there. Nuclear testing in that region put the locals at risk. But the military moved forward anyway.
Between 1946 and 1958, the US carried out a series of nuclear tests, detonating 67 giant bombs in the Marshall Islands.
The tests continued for years. The explosions grew more powerful. It was just a matter.
And I feel like the test not only probably gave the people of the islands radiation poisoning, but wouldn't it affect all of their food supply and shit as well? Oh, chat spamming the big number, the funny number, and we're in email only. Anyways, as I was saying, I think it's 67 bombs that they're detonating there. Well, they weren't all nukes. They were probably just bigger bombs. But even then, you're just, like, killing the environment, like, all around there. So even if there weren't people, you're just fucking the ecosystem in that area. All right, hold up. C for the sub.
Matter of time before something went wrong. On March 1st, 1954, the military carried...
I don't want to say, like, give it a rest, but, like, we had that period. I feel like January, there would be the number 6-7, and people wouldn't spam it. Like, it's not funny anymore at all, right? Like, I'm not annoyed in the sense of, like, okay, now you guys are just trying to be, like, annoying to annoy me by spamming it. I'm just saying it's like, I don't give a fuck. It's just cringe, right? Like, when I see my chat spam that when we're talking about testing nuclear bombs, I'm like, ugh.
Out another test.
The shockwave visibly roared across the ocean and hit the camera ship miles away.
But scientists miscalculated the strength of the blast. It was more than twice as powerful as predicted. A cloud of radioactive debris shot into the sky, and it drifted toward the nearby islands.
And then there was the wind. It blew in a different direction than what the scientists expected.
Oh, so they didn't blow it up that close, but they didn't calculate for the potentiality that it would be, like, drifted elsewhere.
And carried nuclear fallout to nearby populated islands.
On the ground, locals noticed something falling from the sky. It looked like powder.
My cousin Erosi, he was on top of a tree whenever the powder fell.
Kids played in the powder. Adults touched it. Everyone...
Oh my God. Wouldn't you die in, like, weeks?
Breathed it in. It got on everything. Clothing, food, and even toys that the kids played with. The exposure continued for days. They had no idea that it was toxic. After the fallout, the researchers faced a choice. They could warn the locals and evacuate them, or they could treat it as a research opportunity. Behind closed doors, military leaders and scientists made their decision. Instead of evacuating the locals, they decided to use them as test subjects. They called it Project 4.1. The US knew the danger that the contamination posed, but didn't share that information with the locals. As health problems began to appear, medical teams arrived on the islands. They claimed they were there to help, and they did provide some medical care, but in reality, they were mostly collecting data.
And after testing nuclear weapons on their islands, the US studied the Marshallese people without their consent.
The experiment continued for years. Findings from Project 4.1 were published in US medical journals. The health effects were studied, documented, and shared. Eventually, the Marshallese became their own nation.
The Marshall Islands gained its independence from the United States in 1979.
By then, many locals already understood they were harmed by the testing. In the 1990s, newly declassified documents revealed more details about Project 4.1. Finally, the world realized how the victims were treated as test subjects. The project was condemned worldwide. Some even believed...
But, like, what happened to them? Like, obviously it's fucked up, but, like, did they have higher increases odds of cancer and tumors? Did some people just, like, flat out die? Like, what? Because they were far enough away from the bomb that it wasn't as immediate as, like, Hiroshima or, like, Nagasaki. Like, the people there literally would just die from the fallout, or it, like, fucked up future generations even. Whoa. What is this chatter? Mods, can we look at the chatter I just timed out? I don't know if they're adding somebody that said something fucked up, but, like, what are we asking that for? Ham for the sub, yo. Supreme and Sway for the sub. Worm, thank you for the 3. Can you say hi to Jaden and Odessa? Hello. E, thank you for the sub. Tag and Peter, thank you for the sub. Anthony and C for the sub. Taste for the sub.
The radiation exposure wasn't accidental and that it was premeditated. Sadly, decades later, many Marshallese people are still living with the effects of the blast. History taught us a lesson through these experiments. When we treat people like test subjects, we lose our humanity. My friends, progress should never come at the cost of innocent people's lives. So whatever you're building, make sure you're not destroying someone else to get there. Visual Venture.
That was a good video. That was actually a really good fucking video. Use a literal baby for an experiment is crazy. Power can bring out the rest of people. I mean, you don't even need an experiment. See, that's true. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like half of these, it's like, all right, yo, let's run this experiment to just prove something that we already know. Like, Ghost, thank you for the sub. Home for the sub. I gotta piss, and then we're gonna hop in. The other guy that he replied to said there's no definite good or evil side. Okay, don't ban them. It was just, sorry for the chatter that I timed out. It was just, your response, I was like, what the fuck are you asking? Because I didn't see the first question, so it was just out of context. Our context. Count me down. up. I think they made the bracket. Sorry, I was checking this. I know I'm late. We have to be on time. Oh, we might be starting early. Hold up. Oh, wait, no, we're not. Wait, are we starting early? Sorry, I haven't been reading this fucking group chat. They might be starting at 5:30. I don't think so. We have to do 3, but we can't waste a second in the description. You're gonna say very much. Okay. I think we're starting at exactly 6. We're playing Arky and Yugi first. It's me and Jinxie versus Arky and Yugi, and then it's Riley and Zoink versus XQC and Blackboy Max. Ron and Lacey versus Mingo and Sketch. Ginge and Marlin versus Ludwig and Squeaks. Okay. So what's in the meantime? We got another React video, then I'm going to eat a fucking burrito while we watch this Meat Canyon vid, and then we're probably going to practice until we play. That's what we're going to do. Pixel for the sub. Dash and Kid, thank you for the sub. All right. Next vid. Spotting the clues in AI Slop.
In eagle flame during a college football game, a bald eagle did its pre-game flight, but instead of returning to its trainer, it flew straight to the arm of the only Native American in the crowd. Out of thousands of people, it chose them. The stadium went silent, knowing they just witnessed something powerful. A moment of respect, spirit, and visibility. Folded hands sparkle. Yeah, no, it's not AI, no.
Some shit you see on Facebook. Is this Facebook? I don't know what app this is. I feel like it's so easy to scam old people with AI now. You just make some shit on Sora, remove the watermark, and then be like, look at this wholesome video. And then you'll just see a bunch of like grandmas and grandparents in the back like, blessed up. That's awesome. Oh, how sweet. How sweet. A group of rats saved a child from a lion. And they'll believe that. And it'll be the rats like making a bed, carrying the kid away, and like swarming the tiger. They'd be like, "Wow, nature really does help people sometimes."
It's his eagle when he gets hired to fly it at sport events. Yeah, my initial thinking was that, but then I saw.
How do you show this is AI? I feel like you could see when stuff is AI when people have like lifeless eyes. Like, look at that shit. Like, they don't look like they're looking at anything. I also think it was the dude I saw below taking a piece of a brownie. What is that?
The dude below him taking a pic with what seems to be a piece of brownie. And the hand below would have been blocking their own camera. I ran a video on people believing AI Slop was real 2 years ago, and you all said, nah, Matt, the comments are all bots too. No one actually gets tricked by AI. Well, look at the mess we're in.
2 years ago, I think people wouldn't get tricked. But now AI's good enough to where, yeah, the majority, every Twitter video at Grok, is this real? At Grok, did this actually happen?
Now, having a question
and then Grok, like, you're asking an AI if it's AI, and the AI could be wrong. It's like, the amount of trust people have, I know, like, ChatGPT and Grok and, like, AI in general is smart, and smarter than the average person. But that doesn't mean that it's right every time. It still doesn't actually work for video. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not going to know.
Everything we see these days, like some nightmarish version of Is It Cake? AI used to be easy to spot, but now requires more detective work. Like,
I still think it's not easy, but after you watch like 30 Sora videos, I think you could, with like 85% accuracy, pin whether or not something's real.
The lobster claws are the same size. That doesn't happen in real life. True legends, one final farewell. Eric Clapton and Paul McCartney break out. No, he didn't. Paul McCartney's left-handed. There's always some clue from how AI has slipped up, even as small as the fact that nobody ever writes prices $299.00 because it's been studied that when the .00 included, people are less likely to buy. So keep your eyes peeled. Ben & Jerry's milkshakes in all your favourite flavours. Don't know about you, but I want to try fish food, face-savouring food emoji. Will they do any in the dairy-free flavours? Please don't be AI. Ah, yes. Bernazzi's Bender's Berries.
Dude, And the fact that they see this and then don't even like, bro, like, I'm not even saying you need to look at this and then stare really close to see the flaws in the AI. Just look up if it's real. Why are we asking Grok? Like so many things. Ben & Jerry making a milkshake bottle. Is Ben & Jerry's making a milkshake bottle? No. Just Google it.
Favorite.
Like, I feel like actually people I don't want to say Google's the end-all be-all too, because Google itself 10 years ago was the same fucking problem, where people just Google something and then immediately believe it. But, Google's AI now, not if you fucking scroll down. Not if you scroll down. I use Google AI too, but I'm saying, like, scroll down. The first result's AI, and then just fucking swipe past that shit and look at an actual article or Ben & Jerry's website. You know? Nobody does that anymore. I think people have actually replaced Google with AI. Like, the amount of people that when they have to look up something, they just chat GPT it instead of Googling it is nuts. They never look at articles. They never do anything. They just immediately go, well, ChatGPT said this, so.
I love strawberry 68 cake. London. Before everything, it was one of the most beautiful, clean, and safest places in Britain. Yeah, back then they drove on the right. It was crazy. Not just that, the backwards man. The backwards man.
Dude, it's so hard. No, because, like, your eyes immediately, you don't immediately notice it. Like, when I saw this, I was like, okay, well, it's probably AI. And I was looking up here to see what looked weird. I think it's also just like, come on, like the picture of the kid smiling with the kid, like, it's just like too perfect of a photo.
Beautiful, clean, and safest places in Britain. Yeah, back then they drove on the right. And Culkin reunite at family Christmas party.
Dude, it's the eyes, man. I feel like AI's so bad at getting eyes to look normal. Once they ace that, it's going to be hard to tell. It kind of looks like they get Macaulay Culkin, and then they just, like, paste, like, weird clay eyes on every character. Also, what the fuck is that in the back?
Dressed as Home Alone kids, recreating a classic holiday moment. I like how kid...
Facial expressions, I think they get the smile right. It's just, like, at times it looks a little uncanny.
Holiday moment. I like how Kiernan has an extra of
Oh, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Does he have 11 fingers?
Corley's arm. Oh my fucking god, how did I miss that? And what the heck is this in the background? Crown emoji, the 2 P's pack.
We're getting extremely close to indiscernible video, and it's worrying the amount of fraud that'll happen. What do you mean by fraud, Brady? Like scams? Or just like defamation or shit? Like, what are you saying is going to be... I think it's going to be like fake news. Like, it's going to be scams. And then also, I think most social media outlets are going to be unreliable. Because a lot of people don't like... Here's the problem. News outlets in general are biased, right? They're trying to share news and inform people, but first and foremost, they're a company that's trying to make money, so they're going to share the news that they think is best and what's going to make them the most money. So a lot of people go to social media. But now, you could get paid to use Twitter. You could get paid to use Facebook. You could get paid to use Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Twitch and all these other platforms. So news outlets are going to be more and more motivated to just create false narratives. So while there may be accounts that are still trustworthy, on your For You page or your feed, you might see something that's a news post from a page that is literally just full of fake shit. I could get paid? Yeah. And you see it now. I mean, I can't like quote accounts, but you could probably find them on Twitter pretty quickly. There are Twitter accounts that flat out post fake shit. Maybe with a culmination of semi-real or slightly misinformed shit. But like, they just post stuff that gets views, right? Because it's not if the news is true, it's if the news is going to get clicks and likes and interaction and engagement. That's what you want. And it's like, that's a problem on actual news outlets as well, because it's like, you're not actually going to inform people of anything good. You're not going to inform people of anything that's not going to gain eyes. But it's even worse on social media when you just give that to just the hands of a random guy that could just do whatever he wants. Image generation's already indiscernible IMO if the person knows how to use it. False information, old people are going to be tricked, and people in general, because they don't double check info. Well, yeah, dude. I think that's the biggest problem is the amount of people that just believe the first thing they see. And I'm not trying to say that of like you guys in my chat, but some of you guys as well. And even me at times, like the amount of ignorance people have to what's going on in the world where they just see something and immediately go with it. They don't fact check. They don't look for themselves. They don't, actually interact with an individual or anything themselves. They just go, oh, well, somebody said this. This said this. I can't. And then they just move on.
To why Taylor Swift and Donna Kelsey's 2025 shopping spree just redefined the in-law relationship. I like it how AI thinks Taylor would wear the same outfit.
I've seen 5 TikToks about people bitching about the Apple charging the iPhone 18. iPhone 18 has not been announced in any capacity. They're literally just believing fake videos. Yeah. The charging port shit.
She wore to an award show for...
I saw that and I looked it up and it said they hadn't announced anything. iPhone 18 charging port. I want to see if that rumors suggest, but it doesn't actually say that that's what they're going to do. It's expected to use USB-C. They're gonna. Like, there's no way they wouldn't. I'm going to also have the take. I love that iPhone switched to USB-C because now I don't need some fuck-ass iPhone charger. Like, there's only 2 chargers that you need. Like, the speaker Android charger and the USB-C. And that's it. Those are the only charging cords I need. And anything that I need to charge fits in those 2 fucking slots. Either USB-C or this. Or just USB. It's amazing. It's like, I know it sucks too if like you're somebody with like an older iPhone as people move forward. But it's like, it's just awesome.
Shopping.
Yeah, micro USB. I never know the name of it. I just go Android charger.
The floor laughing emoji. It's the tiny microphone for me. The goal is never Gucci bags. It's acres of land. RIP to that horribly long misshapen horse. Skull emoji. Just imagine how small the horses would be if they walked all the way to the house. I'm a farmer's daughter, and some people think that makes me last. I grew up on a sweet potato farm about 10 miles outside of town, where mornings...
And who's posting this? Like, are people posting this for... It has to be for money. Like, the account that's posting this isn't just like an auto-ran bot. Like, some person is making this image and then faking this.
Start before the sun.
For engagement.
And vacation means a county fair. My parents have done...
I think people on Facebook are doing this too. Because it's like, you pretend to be this wholesome farm girl, and then you get like some 80-year-old sugar daddy to be like, oh, you're what women aren't like anymore. Do you want to date me? And then they get scammed out of all their money.
Under that.
It's catfishing, but most catfishing previously used to be like pretending to be somebody you're not. This is just like, you're not even a person. Like, you're catfishing as an AI individual.
Yeah, I'll stop you there. The chicken have duck feet, you stupid goddamn dumbass emotionally manipulative robot prick. Today, I returned a library book I checked out when I was a kid. And I'm old enough now that the librarian behind the desk had to blink twice, like she thought I was joking. This AI photo, a book that old wouldn't have a barcode. They only started using those 30 years ago at the earliest, and it wouldn't have been on the cover. They were still tucking in the books, so they could also stamp the card as reminder to return. Well spotted. Very good, but also...
Where the red fern grows. Like, that's what gave away, the barcode gave away its fake, where the red fern grows.
Where the red fern grows. Oh, sounds like a good book. AI fucking slop. United passenger posted his first class ticket.
What a big ticket. And what language is that?
To brag about Trump, and someone cancelled his flight. Fuck, AI's getting too good. Why does his ticket say Unico and United? Why is the champagne in his glass, but his champagne is unopened? And why is he holding his bollocks? You forgot his legs shorter than his arm. Plus, he's literally on the flight. Right? Loudly crying face emoji, loudly crying face emoji, loudly crying face emoji. What, they're gonna kick him off now, are they? What's happened there then? Okay, cabin crew, come in. Can I just confirm you've served all the food and drink, yes? Fantastic. So everyone's got a hot meal and a full glass of alcohol right in front of them, correct? Great. If you could just go through now and actually make sure that everyone's got a ticket. Brilliant. And then after that, probably best start thinking about taking off. Where are pictures of Obama praying? Ooh, not many clues to work with here. Oh, but let me just try something. One sec. Marietta Handyman Services.
Oh, that's bad. You could tell just like off of the smoothness. AI always over smooths people's skin. There's no texture.
Safely. Wired right? No.
Oh, he has 3 hands. I didn't even see that. Oh my God.
Stress.
And he's just not even holding the fan.
Do all of your workers have 3 hands? Marietta Mandyman? Some hospitals and hospices in the UK and Australia have introduced cuddle beds. That is, special wider beds that let families lie beside their...
This seems horrible, dude. Cuddle bed, but they got, yeah, and they got a bedpan under that. Imagine, bro. Oh my God.
Loved ones who are terminally ill. These beds bring comfort, warmth, and emotional closeness during the most...
Yeah, why don't you emotional comfortness. Hey, your dying grandma. Why don't we lay on her? Also, she has 3 hands.
Who are terminally ill. These beds bring comfort, warmth, and emotional closeness during the most difficult final moments of life. Do you think this practice should be followed by all hospitals? Again, AI slipping up on the old hands, but it does have a solution for that, though. Happy birthday to my twins, Party Popper 2 Hearts. Some heartless people won't congratulate them just because they're different, broken heart crying face. Hashtag stay strong. I refuse to believe we humans are this stupid. Oh, I've got bad news for you.
Oh my God. Dude, and it's all like the Facebook moms. Christina O'Boyle. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Birthday blessings. Happy birthday to both of you.
What are they supposed to do with those blocks? Just going back to this one.
What it just...
No, quickly. What's odd is that it's based on a real idea.
I didn't even think about that. That one I was trying to see why it was AI. I was going to say, well, like twins, what are the odds that they, even if you're genetic twins, and one of you is missing, you know, your lower half of your arms, would that mean that the other one would also be missing the lower half of their arms?
Just going back to this one, though, quickly. What's odd is that it's based on a real idea, on a real picture. The AI decided to festoon with messed up flags and turn it for no reason into an airbed. God, imagine you sit on the side of this and grandma just launches into the air like a trampoline.
I do think hospitals are too sad. This does look more comfortable, but the problem is it's just like, it's unrealistic to assume that, like, people are going to come cuddle with their dying grandparents.
Like 5 nurses trying to hold the bed down and get her up for a bath, and she's just flopping around in the middle like a fish. AI has a habit of doing this. Here's a photo, a real story. The Arizona Fire Department had 19 babies born to the 18 firefighters inside of 1 year. AI decides, no, I can do that photo. Baby? Yeah, I've seen one of those before. Yeah. Hey, you guys. My favourite baby. God bless. Folded hands. Am I crazy, or does this child look like that wild...
But why would somebody make that into AI if it's already a real image? Like, they didn't change anything. They just said, recreate this in AI. Like, just to see if it could copy it.
Yes, restoration of that Jesus portrait done by that old lady in Spain. Could it be? The wadded up tissue next to the game. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. The AI was wrong for that. Dr. Pepper slippers coming soon to Walmart, Red Heart.
Dr. Pepper slippers. What about this is AI? If upside down, it says Fot Care Set instead of foot care. Look at her hand. Yeah, but I mean, it's behind the box. It's upside down. Well, yeah, but that, that part is upside down. But it also says Fot Care Set instead of foot.
Oh, it's so good at making it look like an actual Walmart. Yes, but Fot Care. How far can animals identify us? What happens in that 600-yard window where you can be identified by a falcon, but not by a falcon? Schrodinger's falcon. Plus, that's not a giraffe. Me and my
husband after 23 years with the same pose and fun.
Husband after 23 years with the same pose and
Yeah, 23 years ago, Buddy had an Apple AirPod.
Fun, winking face with tongue, smiling face with 3 hearts. Right.
And then now the AirPods, like, merged into his ear.
Because AirPods were a thing 23 years ago. They were.
Wow, this is fun to try and spot, like, what's wrong. Because honestly, I don't want to say, like, I wouldn't fall for this, right? Like, if I actually stared at it. But if I was scrolling on, like, just any social media and I saw this image, I wouldn't like it. I would just go, nah. Because I just wouldn't give a shit. If this was real or not, I just wouldn't care, right?
He wore them so much, they became one with his ear. You're being really insensitive right now. I love other pranks.
And that is a problem, because then it makes, like, social media full of just, like, bot, like, not just dead internet theory of, like, you know, the majority of social media interaction is done through bots, but also just, like, what you watch is bot content, but the bot content isn't intriguing enough for you to investigate it, so you just go, and just scroll. I've guaranteed you've seen AI images or modified ones, haven't noticed. It's gotten a lot more prevalent. Oh, no, I agree. There's probably been instances where I've seen AI imagery and just not known or cared to even check.
Singles aged too. Spirit science. Posts. Look at this hidden sugar and common drinks. Every choice we make carries
iOS tea, energy juice, juice drink, Red Bull.
Weight and awareness is a powerful tool. I like how the bottom of the Coke can bows outwards to fit the curve of the C of Coca-Cola. Red tea, my fave. Who the fuck out here drinking sugar water? Like an ant? Or perhaps a hummingbird? Or...
We're already gone everywhere.
Oh, God. Are there people that drink sugar water? Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Whoa!
I was going to say that would be like 100 grams of sugar.
Top 10 richest billionaires 2025.
Jeff Bezos. Maryville. I don't know some of these people. Mark Zuckerberg. That's not Mark Zuckerberg.
I love how this looks like an in memoriam post. Combined wealth. There were trillions of dollars faced with tears of joy emoji. Who we got here then? Jeff.
Yes, Tom Cruise, $281 billion. I don't even know if Tom Cruise probably has like one at most.
We got here then Jeff Bakes, Mal Gibson, Mark Zuckerberg, and what? Yes,
Adam
if only
Sandler.
Elon Musk is upsetting. Hello. Whilst we're on the topic of Musk, here's his family tree, posted unironically. Oh God, this isn't how you do a family tree. This is a family wreath. Fear the nameless Musk, born 2021. Dolly Parton impersonator meetup in Texas.
I believe this. I know, like, looking into it, there's probably something that makes it, yeah, like this. But looking at it, I'd be like, oh, who cares? Scroll.
Is that Mr. Poopy Butthole on horseback on the right? Oh, wait. Oh, I missed this event, and I live right up the street from Boris Lufthansa. I have truly never, in all my 75 years, witnessed such a charming little display of determination mixed with cozy desperation. Brilliant. Fabulous idea. I'd have made besties with him and...
Who's putting fabulous idea? Bart Denver is a fucking NPC, bro. Oh my God, we're in the pit vipes in the profile picture. What do you mean, brilliant idea? You're gonna set up a tent at a fucking airport? What? That's not a good idea.
Held up in there. Yeah, you know how you can never understand the overhead speakers? It's because they're speaking this language.
The flight to Deep Welcome is late.
Oh, no, I'm never going to get to Del Rito in time for Thameskivong. Amarillo reflects a classic American plains city, known for highways, open land, and regional travel.
Where the fuck do you get off that roundabout? It's just an infinite traffic circle. You just spawn there and you can never leave.
Routes that connect communities across the central United States. Love the big circle road with no off-ramp, lol. We just be driving in circles out here. Hey, I live there. This isn't AI. I once accidentally teleported into the circle. I had to call for help to get out, loudly crying face emoji. This is what Amarillo actually looks like, if anyone was wondering. Where's the circle? I only order the cheeseburger.
0 cheeseburger. $9,000.
but the table is saying to split the bill evenly. What are you doing, eyes emoji? That's why when you start ordering, tell the waiter it's a separate checks, yeah? Problem solved. Josh, mate, oh yeah, what, that new place over on Pemnaviventag, ACMV, Washing DC? Yeah, I was just there last week. Pemnaviventag is my favourite German holiday. Bro got charged for 0 cheeseburgers. Face with tears, face with tears.
And what the fuck is La Flave Mantra Cat? $4,000.
Face with tears of joy. AI loves receipt posts for some reason. I broke the #1 rule and took a
$285 at a fucking Olive Garden. What would you possibly have bought? Also, everything there is $1, $2, $5, and like $40.
co-worker on a date. We picked Olive Garden because it felt safe, casual, neutral, HR-approved vibes. Everything was cool until the check came. You're talking such shit. What do you mean you're taking her on a date? You've both got wedding rings on, and you're holding a receipt which says you've had a tiramisu, but she's still eating her salad. Let's just have a closer look at that receipt, shall we? 1 tier of fiddig with 1 Nutella tea and 1 wet towelettes. 2 nuttig nutties with oid betis. 1 tisair, nut. 1 tersarius, and 1 Triscuit. Add $1, $2, and $2.50, and $5, and $5.20, and $3, and it makes the total a $285.50. Duh, face with rolling eyes. And yet, almost every pleb gobbles it up, besides the odd cautious, is this a...
Oh my god. Dated a coworker, now married with 2 kids. Is this AI generated? Married my manager. Oh my god, bro. Like, we're entering the new wave of, like, people going to get genuinely scammed. Like, I think AI influencers is going to be even worse. Where it's not like, we watched that one video about an openly AI, like, Instagram influencer and how they get sponsors and shit. I think it's going to be, like, so bad that on Instagram, there's going to be, it's going to be before, like, I know Kwebbelkop's trying to fast track this fucking Kwebbelkop AI shit and have, like, YouTube merge with AI, and you're gonna have like AI gamers. I don't think that's gonna happen for a long time. I think more realistically, there's going to be like flat out Instagram influencers that aren't real and you don't know.
AI generated? Of course it is. Who would have taken the picture? Both his hands are on the receipt.
Are you AI? Yeah.
Living that DualShock life, video game growing heart.
1 shoe.
That controller is plugged in to potato chips. Fucking poster says scheme. Skull emoji. What happened to Crash? Oh my god. Look what it did to Space Jam. Swamp Jam is an absolute classic. I wore a sneaker on 1 foot and went barefoot on the other, which was the style at the time. Yeah, when your mum barges in your room when you're hanging out with your friend, so your shirt is backwards and you only have 1 shoe on. Collectors! Automobile dash symbol. Cars 4, 2026. Hype. Lightning McQueen.
Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? There's another Lightning McQueen in the back with 1 eyeball. Oh my god. No, this is terrible.
Back. Seymour. No, don't Seymour. This is AI. Disney said multiple times they'll never make another movie due to Pixar no longer having the partnership with the animation studio that did the Cars and Planes movies. Nice. I mean, you didn't really need to say that because there's a Cyclops with a 3-eyed one. What is this supposed to be? What the fuck is this? Jesus is still king. Can I get an amen? Amen. No, wait. Aim. His own patch says Jesus. Is he saying he is king? Weight loss salad. Cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, onion. Those are some big fucking cherry tomatoes, lol. Stinky dicks, bagel seasoning, when only the finest will do. And the dressing only has 50 muffle per serving. Jack-o'-lantern emoji, POV, Halloween in the 90s, jack-o'-lantern emoji. More AI, which...
What, because there's just like pumpkins in the street? I think I'd fall for this one. Because nothing stands out as like absurd to me.
Tragically, humans were reacting with their real organic memories too. Yeah, I really miss when I was a kid and we just put pumpkins in the middle of the road. Nobody puts pumpkins in the middle of the road anymore. I miss the days when street lamps were just long sticks with nothing at the top. I also really miss those teeny tiny automobiles from the 90s that got banned after that one incident in 1999 that caused the media to erase them from the cultural continuum. I'm imagining a horror movie where someone gets sucked inside one of these AI hellscapes. Grocery store, 1920s. Hashtag vintage retail. Hashtag
selling a lot of peas. Peas 15 cents. Peas 15 cents. Peas 15 cents.
women of the 1920s.
Peas and coffee. Is that the only thing that they sell?
Hi, yeah, I'll take some peas and some, peas. Oh, and some puffers. Coffee and peas is all one needs. In Mobile, Alabama, 23-year-old Red Lobster server arrested after no-tip receipt sparks seafood night chaos. Now, this is a tough one, and obviously it's got all the guys out there making fools of themselves. I mean, maybe it's real. Maybe it's real. Yeah. Oh, there's just one thing I find mighty confusing. It says the mugshot there is taken on the 18th November, 2025. Now, see, I thought Mobile Alabama's Red Lobster shut down on May 2024. That's awful curious. Plus her Def Leppard shirt says Def Leppin. These are the sorts of AI photos which go the most undetected, though, largely as men on Facebook with these sorts of profile pics are too busy commenting like, I mean, Jesus.
What did that say?
Sorts of profile pics are too busy
Come arrest me and book me to your life, Miss Officer.
commenting like, I mean, Jesus.
So you're saying when a man gets you as his girl, you come with handcuffs? Count me in.
Christ, what are you doing? The comments are insane. Some motherfucker really said, oh, wowzers. But just look at the badge. It's literally a capture. And another tell, actually sit back and think about what you're looking at. No one would do this. At 53, he sang one song and blah, 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 blah. We are getting into the minutiae of clues here, but sometimes that's what's required. This is AI.
Ripped Eminem with just a million scars.
Eminem has a skull mushroom on his left arm, and Ronnie R.I.P. is at the bottom of the tattoo, not the top. I have the exact mushroom on my head, so I know. Yeah. I mean, they also kept the prompt, so sometimes.
Where? Oh. Just truth, scars, legacy, written in rhyme, ultra-realistic, AK detail, shallow depth of field.
Digging down into the tiniest of clues isn't required, though. German short-haired pointer group shared that loyalty never fades, only remembered in silence. Generations pass, but a German short-pointed coims aunter always remembers what loyalty feels like in silence. What?
Wow.
This printer costs $160.
Yeah, not watching that video. All right, WVid, though. That was fun. All right. We're going to watch one more video, then we're going to hop on a Rocket League before the tournament, but I'm about to go heat up my burrito, so I might be gone for like 3 minutes. Jacob for the sub, High and Kennedy for the sub, Morbin Fun for the sub, Dookie GTM for the sub, Tom for the sub. Law and Ari for the sub, Me6, thank you for the 3. Thank you for the Apple, new iPhone charger, it's all complete bullshit, not true. Luke and Kale, thank you for the sub. Jordan, go for the sub. AJ, thank you for the 5. Lil and Simple, thank you for the sub. AN, Unknown for the sub. Lil, Ike, Jaden and KJ, thank you for the sub. Eve, thank you for the 3. Both the Carpe Diem, Light Hoodie, Crazy Impact of My Life. Got me through breakups. I want to say thank you for all the things that you do. Thank you. Carter, thank you for the sub. I hope you're all right. Car and Dylan, thank you for the sub. Phantom Dash for the sub. Pixel, Yo Boy, Hom, Sway, Supreme for the sub. Red the Rest, Jacob for the sub. All right. Count me down, chat. I'll be back. Let me play. Actually, don't count me down because I'm going to be gone for a few minutes. What song should I play? Home off the sub. All right. Let's lock in. Chat, we're gonna fucking eat this burrito. I'm probably gonna be silent in the corner munching while we watch this. Big and miss for the sub, loyal and ZR for the sub. After we watch this though, we'll tap into Rocket League. Lock in. Ice saves anime. Glizzy, thank you for the 5 gifteds. Wait, first bite.
When did they allow so many Japanese people in this convention? I mean, how many of these parasites even bought a ticket to get in here? Bunch of leeches. We're gonna need to do a ticket check down here. Oh, slippery fingers.
Now, I'm not scared or anything, but I heard if a Japanese person sees your face, they'll take your soul.
I can't shake the feeling that I'm gonna get raped and eaten by these things I don't understand.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You're smart as hell, Cletus.
Wait! Look over there! Oh my God! Oh, darn it, just got this thing, my bad.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Please! Drop those weapons! Let us see those hands!
I can't! They're a part of my costume!
Show me your convention ticket!
It's on my phone! I can't grab it with my prop hands!
He's gonna rape me!
What? No!
Show me those hands!
Okay,
Let us see those hands!
Okay. Identify yourself, demon. I'm
Yo, take it out of sub only.
Dingy from Chainsaw Man. I'm Dingy the Chainsaw Man.
Cletus, frisk him. Get his ID.
Yo, side note, is Chainsaw Man that good of an anime? People have been telling me I should watch it, but I haven't been into anime recently. Oh.
I'm gonna go get his identification. Josh Allen.
Oh, like he can't read?
Josh Allen from Texas.
Josh Allen. That don't sound like no Dingy from Chainsaw Man to me. It's my costume. I'm just playing a...
Shut him up, Cletus! I'm gonna put a bullet in his hand.
What? What are you doing? You want me to get down?
Here, you
okay,
get
I'll
down.
Get down.
You get
okay,
on the
I'm
ground.
going.
Don't think about slipping a pinky at me. My holes are off limits, demon.
Oh my God. Yeah, so I found a couple of these guys' tweets, and I just think, you know, is there really a loss? I mean, look at this. This is, I mean, come on. What kind of person would say something like that? This convention gets worse every year.
If you don't like it, you can leave. Look, fellas, people are filming us. We're gonna be heroes.
I'm gonna be famous for being a hero. They're gonna put me on the TV.
Thank you for keeping us safe, brave heroes. Let's give them a round of applause, guys.
If anyone's gonna be the famous hero, it should be me. I love this convention more than any of you guys.
Like hell.
Are they gonna end up killing each other?
You're just here because of the bonus. You're as big a parasite as any of them are. I should be the hero.
Oh, yeah? You're a big fat pussy. Hiding that pussy face behind that mask of yours.
Are that supposed to be a vagina?
I'm legal.
Wow, that's disgusting. Oh my God.
I'm legally retarded, and I don't know who to kill anymore. Cletus, you can't say that. Oh, fuck you. I have not gone woke. You guys are getting in my head. How do I know you ain't one of them? Damn it, Cletus. Don't you point that gun at me.
What is going on? For the love of God, I'm just a cosplayer!
I'm fighting for this convention. Admit it! You're gonna rape and eat me! Admit it! Oh, you son of a bitch! I'm getting shot to death! Oh, God, I'm dead.
Oh, God, She's right. This convention's gone down the shitter. There's nothing left to live for.
Wow.
Hey! Let me see your convention ticket.
Who the hell was that supposed to be? Oh, from Dragon Ball? Yeah, I've never seen Dragon Ball. Oh my god. Okay, hold up. I still have to eat the rest of my burrito, so we're going to watch half of a daily dose. Or not half. Oh my god. I have a third of my burrito. Let me
Hello,
munch.
everyone. This is...
Dude, I gotta say, Chipotle sucks until they bring around that El Pastor chicken, bitch. Oh my god.
Your daily dose of internet.
Vocês aprendem como é que faz o bagulho. Aqui, ó.
Three, two, one.
Let's do it.
Dude, I love seals, man. Oh my god, are these sea lions? I don't know the difference. I don't give a shit. When they do their little butt dance.
This guy dropped off his parcel while stuck in traffic.
Is he gonna give it to the UPS driver? What the fuck just happened? Was that just an ice sheet on top of the house?
This couple decided to get married on a plane.
I pronounce you man and wife. You think I'm just right?
I'm not vibing with the airplane wedding. I'm not gonna lie. You know, get married wherever you want. Do whatever you want. But I don't know, man. I'm just letting you know. If I'm on a fucking, you know, United Spirit flight, wherever the fuck I'm on, and they go, special announcement, we're going to be doing a wedding to... Dum. Right? Ready? Dum. On my AirPods. Dum. Muted. Muted, and then I'm playing fucking Seether. Literally, they're going, hey, sorry, we're getting some, we're gonna have a wedding today. I now pronounce you, dum. I saw somebody propose on an airplane one time, too. I was like, damn, bro.
This couple decided to get married on a plane.
I pronounce you man and wife. You think I'm just right?
Here's a free bag of pretzels.
He used the oldest trick in the book.
Now, if getting married on an airplane got me free flights for life, different story.
No way.
The teacher wanted to show his students his hidden talent.
I love how it's, oh, sorry, I got a lot of burrito in my mouth. Types of psychoactive drugs in the back.
Why is this so hypnotizing?
Well, yo-yo just wouldn't work in space, right? Oh,
So
never mind.
when it gets cold here in Florida, thousands of manatees gather up here at the power plant. It's pushing out a lot of warm water, and that's how they're able to survive this winter. But I mean, there's literally thousands of them. Some even beached out of the water over there.
Oh my God, I was just choking. Oh my God. I do that about every other time I'm eating. Where you swallow and there's like food half stuck in your mouth, and then you swallow again and you're like, oh fuck. Then you just, do you guys not do that? I feel like I choke like every time I eat food. Like I'll swallow it and then it gets stuck and I can still breathe, but it's like, holy fuck, wait, I'm actually kind of choking. And then I have to like drink a bunch of water and I like feel it slowly push it down. Chew your food? That's what my intestines are for. Wave of nausea. Hold up.
They really didn't think this one through.
Hey! Hey! Give us some dough.
That Al Pastor burrito's sitting like a brick in my stomach. How fast did I eat that? I feel like I ate that in like 8 minutes. Holy shit. Oh my God. He's gonna spill. I thought you said he's gonna spill. You said spit on them. You were talking about the camel. I thought you were saying I was gonna spill, like I was gonna throw up. That would have been a funnier comment.
Get out! Oh.
This waterfall has frozen itself a protective ice wall.
All right, done with that bullshit.